And what is your beef? Why do you have such a problem with me?
Can we get the real Andy? I would prefer the real Andy.
Oh, let's get the real Max. I'll take off my mask when you take off your mask, brother.
Because who's your new favorite YouTuber, Ian, that wanted to be on the show with us?
The madman. The madman.
Mad Movie Man.
Let's bring on Max Movies because he scares the living shit out of me. Hold on.
Oh, wow.
Mad Max says, I think you should apologize. Right? I'm sitting here in a goddamn torn down pool house.
I don't even know who
the
you
pool house
are.
is torn apart. Okay, it's torn apart because I'm remodeling on my $70 webcam. Okay, I'm no better than you.
Movie Madness Entertainment. Welcome.
Oh, we stopped it. I don't know what's going on with that. Did you stop it?
I did not.
Oh, it's acting weird then. It's acting weird. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the mic drop. It's Friday night. I think since we've been doing this a little bit, and we maybe initially intended to do a couple nights a week, but really one night a week. And Friday night seems to be the most the easiest. So if that works for you, unless something else changes, we could try Friday nights. Yeah. But let's have a great time tonight. Yes, I am. I praised James Gunn one day, and I'm going to criticize him today. And it's really just the way he talks on not the quality of his projects and what he's doing. I applaud that. It's just he's a little bit of a used car salesman when he promotes stuff. And I mainly am calling out the gun nuts because, Voltaire, just on this same Madness channel last week, gun nuts were getting on me for saying what? That James Gunn really didn't have anything to do with Joker 2 or the Penguin. And they're like, well, he's promoting it's the start of the DC studios, it's quality. And then the abysmal reactions from Joker 2. And I haven't seen it yet. Please, no spoilers. I do still want to see it. Now, even he is distancing himself from Joker 2. I had nothing to do with it. Actually, I'm not afraid to call out Bruce, but I think Bruce told me, don't you remember James Gunn got notes or gave notes on Joker? I'm like, okay. He still didn't really have anything to do with it. But remember last week when he was promoting the start of the DC studios is all going to be all about quality. Yeah. You remember this, Voltaire?
Yeah, I do.
And now this week, he's like, well, I really didn't have anything to do with it. They were really all together. So he's kind of moving the goalpost. And honestly, some of the confusion is still there about what's DC Studios' true start. He should just say it's Superman. Even he should just leave out Creature Commandos, the start of Superman. Superman is ushering in DC Studios because people are not happy with this Joker movie. Have you seen how much it's? Well, first off, the numbers are anywhere close to the first box office.
Right.
And then everyone is complaining. I see people throwing up the middle finger at Todd Phillips, and they're like, "Oh, thank God Todd Phillips didn't get control of DC Studios." It's pretty funny, And I'm not hating on the movie yet. I'm honestly, even before people, and we're gonna get to how you're doing, Voltaire. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot at the beginning. We're gonna, but even before the backlash of Joker 2. I kind of personally lost interest in seeing it right away. Not because I'm not excited about it. It's just, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Joe, did you enjoy Joker 2? I didn't watch your review because I don't want to get any spoilers. I'm not saying you would put spoilers in it. So here's Johnny Dome Studios saying Joker 2 is Warner Brothers Pictures. The DC Studios logo wasn't in the movie. But James Gunn last week was saying with the release of The Penguin and Joker 2, you're going to see the true start of DC Studios and quality over and we're focusing on not quantity, but he said we're going to be focusing on quality, and that's what DC Studios is all going. It's going to be about.
What's your thesis? Is that James Gunn is picking and choosing when he says he has,
because he's not.
something to
He
do with
wants
it?
the credit of when it's well received of when it starts, and there's no really smooth transition. There's no soft it's just a pull the plug reboot, and that's honestly. I mean, regardless, even if James Gunn said, even if they went with a hard reboot, it's still going to be mixed results. It really doesn't matter what he says. I'm just saying, I'm calling him out for his fans for their nonsense, because the same fans that are going to say he had nothing to do with this disaster, that if they don't like Joker 2 last week said, well, he helped usher in these movies, the Penguin, he gave notes and everything. When last week, I was getting grilled by those same gun nuts for saying why is he saying this is the start of DC Studios? He had nothing to do with the Penguin and Joker 2.
So I agree with that. That's exactly what's going on.
Right.
Do you think the studio is telling him you can't back
honest
up
with that?
About these, you can't separate yourself from these projects, or nobody will watch them?
What's that?
Do you think the studio is telling him you can't separate yourself from these projects? You have to kind of say you're involved somehow?
No, I think it's his natural personality to pump things up. He seems like a positive guy. He wants to get momentum behind everything, and he's just a natural salesman. Unfortunately, when he's not involved, just like I said, one of my favorite directors of all time is James Cameron. He is an absolute bullshitter when he's involved with the project, but he doesn't direct it himself. And I feel the same with James Gunn. He's like, this is the new start. This is all going to be about quality. And that was right after the Penguin got such great success, So that's when he made those comments, like, this is the start. We're talking about quality. And then the moment something's not well received, he's like, well, I really didn't have anything to do with it. I didn't, it was really underway before I even started. It's just funny to me.
I get it. I get it. Nobody's telling the truth, but what do you think's actually going on?
It's really not
his involvement in these projects.
Wait, what?
I agree. He's not telling the truth, but what do you think his actual?
Well, if Joker 2 was well received, you would have all the same gun nuts that were on me last week saying, "Oh, see, it's James Gunn's quality."
Yeah.
When the same people would be saying that they're saying, "Oh, don't blame this on James." We're gonna be, it's under his watch. He deserves the win. It's not a crime. It's just funny. It's just funny.
But what do you think? Your speculation as a movie expert. What do you think?
I am. Thank you.
Yeah, right. You're a world-renowned movie expert. What do you think his power or his influence on projects like the Joker and the Matt Reeves stuff actually is?
Well, if we go based on his word, it's less than I thought. Like, I actually agree, even though I called out Bruce and he's not here. Shout out to Bruce, Kingdom of Nerds, as his own stream tonight. I do think that he would have helped give notes and stuff, but he's kind of distancing himself from that now. It really, honestly, it's just fun to talk about and call both him and his fans out for their nonsense on social media, and he talks too much, just like Tim Walls. I like Tim Walls. He's a bullshitter too.
Take it easy.
No, listen, I'm not getting political tonight.
Mm-hmm.
He seems like a nice guy, but he also seems like a guy that'll tell you caught the biggest fish in the lake. And his response to, being in China during Tiananmen Square situation was horrendous.
It's kind of funny, actually.
And then I watched some other stuff about some other stuff he stretched the truth on. Does that mean he's a horrible person? No.
So here's what I think. Here's what I think.
It's just people are weird.
Yeah, and I'm excited for the James Gunn DC universe, but I'm going to say that he had nothing to do with the Joker. He had virtually zero influence.
Yeah,
that was $1 billion. The first one was $1 billion movie. They let Todd Phillips do whatever he wants, and the Matt Reeves stuff, he's not touching. He has nothing to do with it, and all he is a hype man.
Yeah.
For DC.
He's a hype man, and he will sell it to you regardless. He wants everyone to succeed. That's a strength, you know.
But who would argue with
And
that? I mean,
Joe is
that's
not
exactly
here
what-
because this is the mic drop. We might have one guest that I sent a link to because they asked before.
Mhm.
We'll see if they show up. They might be busy. But what was I saying? Darn it, I lost my.
For him being a hype man, and I mean, but who would argue with that? That he has nothing to do with these things.
What I was going to say about him being a hype man for the Flash. Me and Joe will argue to the end of time about and Perp, to be fair, about was James Gunn being completely legit when he said this is one of the best superhero movies of all time. Could he plausibly have thought that and said that? Yes. Do I think that's what happened? Hell's no. There's no way I don't think, and I'm not in his mind. It's just I do not think that he thought this was one of the best superhero movies of all time. And I do not think Tom Cruise, on his own volition, without any other reason, let alone his project with Warner Brothers, would overhype it either.
What about
But to be fair, both Tom Cruise and James Gunn, see, I haven't been proven wrong. Joe, sometimes I throw in the towel with you, and I'm just like, okay, I do see you have strong points of view, strong arguments. I do not think you've proven me. Do not think that you proved me wrong. I just like, okay, whatever. I don't care anymore. But I don't think it. See?
Anyway, so like
this is actually more fun to have Joe in the chat.
It's just like if you put yourself in his shoes, he has to be a hype man. Now, does he have to say that The Flash is one of the best movies he's ever seen? No, he could have said I loved it.
He said I really enjoyed it. You should definitely go see it.
I love that.
And that
movie.
would still be that would still be hyping it up, but
right.
That's like selling a beat up car. What do they used to call them? I don't know if you should call them jalopies. And saying it's a brand new car. This car is going to change your life. It's one of the best cars of all time.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It runs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you are just getting here, please thumbs up the video. Really have been appreciating the engagement, and the replay crew is coming through, man. I've been seeing comments from viewers that I didn't know were watching on the replay, and I was like, wow, you watched the replay? That's great. That really helps the success of the show. And me and Voltaire, all the projects that we're doing, we want to succeed. I eventually wanted to get Voltaire. We wanted to maybe release this as an audio podcast somewhere. I do want to bring back the voicemails. I just have so much I'm doing. But that's all I really have to let me see if I can actually find. Why are people disliking Joker 2 so much though?
I presumed it was because it really is a musical.
I saw someone complaining all they wanted to have was Lady Gaga sing, and they were complaining. So I have no idea. Maybe there's even that much of that.
Yes, that's me, Jeffrey Miller. That's my closing of the show.
Okay, so here is the quote that made me laugh my butt off, because I follow physical media on X because I like physical media. I like VHS the best. I actually replied on a Tape Hunters episode because they're funny. I'm not criticizing people that pirate stuff, whatever. It is what it is. I still do think it's affecting the industry now more than it ever has, because it's just so easy to do. It wasn't even this easy when Napster's days, like Napster days, it took like maybe 30 minutes to download one song. Now it takes like 5 minutes to get a whole movie.
Yeah, it's completely different.
Yeah. So I do think it's impacting the industry.
Of course.
But there was someone on a Tape Hunters episode that was saying, I could get a whole. I think pirating is better. Pirating is better. And I said, you know what? VHS, when I get it for 10 cents, it's actually cheaper than pirating.
It is. Max, sorry, before you move on to that, I want to ask, without spoilers, Joe, because you've seen the movie, the rumors about Joker 2, without spoilers, is that the Joker is involved in a unconsenting snuggle session with another dude. Is that true, Joe? Is that part of the movie? Those were the rumors, but go ahead, Max. Joe,
Okay.
answer us, please.
Oh, I wanted to get to this, and thank you, Rational. Is not a member anymore, but left a super chat. I appreciate that. And I'm thinking I'm going to try to make some time for Xbox tonight because I feel bad that I've been leaving my Xbox crew, CJH, Jade, and Rational. It's been so long since I've been on Xbox. This stream needs Jesus. Do we want Resonant Jesus? RJ, do we want to send RJ the link for a little bit?
Sure.
Until our other friend gets here. Resonant Jesus. I just wanted to do that just because by his comment is hilarious. I would love to, because I know he's a gun nut.
Yeah.
I mean, not to bring up a beef, but me and RJ had a little beef about back and forth about James.
Well, that's what the show's all about.
Yeah. So let me send Resonant Jesus.
Joe, please confirm or deny that rumor about that scene.
To see what he says about my opinion on James Gunn flip-flopping on whether this is the start of the quality of DC Studios. But Rational Skeptic says, Max, will Zachary Levi return to the DCU after supporting Trump? Absolutely not. I think there are a small number of conservatives in the industry that could return to some type of project, not everything. But they have to be really high caliber actor, and that is not Zachary Levi. I'm sorry. I actually liked the video too. I think Bill Murray even came out. Oh God, Resident Marvel Jesus is here. RJ, why do we need Jesus?
Because your title is very suspect.
No, he did take credit. I don't have the quote available, and I know all of you are going to be like, "Oh, bring up the actual quote." He was saying last week, after the success of the Penguin and Joker 2 is the start of the quality of DC Studios.
He never actually he has never brought up Joker 2. For some reason, he refused to talk about this movie. Actually,
well, really?
No,
am I mistaken? Are you here to deliver me an L? Has the Resident Jesus?
Serious. Like, he actually has avoided even mentioning Joker 2.
I swear he said. I swear he's.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of the Superman documentary because.
Sorry. Breaking news.
Damn it! You're right.
The Joker was non-consensually snuggled by another man in the movie. Spoiler alert.
I have not seen it yet.
I don't actually. Why did I send you the link for you to deliver me another L? Because this was the last L you delivered to me, where you actually helped bring the Superman documentary. You may be right. Now I'm second guessing myself.
This is something people
I thought he said in my mind. I 100% thought that he was promoting the Penguin and Joker 2.
No, it was the
Penguin
and the Superman documentary.
Penguin and the Superman documentary.
Yeah. No,
people
have been noticing that he has not.
This is embarrassing.
Movie, like, he seems to not want to talk about Joker 2. Like, he's not brought it up. He hasn't posted about it. Nothing.
Well, I don't blame him based on Crazy Joe's comment.
No! Get that off! Don't highlight that comment.
No, but in all seriousness, though, he has not really publicly acknowledged this movie very much. It's just all been pure Warner Brothers.
I have to issue another apology to James Gunn, Voltaire.
No, I'm not. It's factually correct. What do you want me to tell you? Joe's
I was wrong again. I thought for sure he said Joker 2, but it might have been. Do we have the actual quote?
I mean, you can look at his social media posts. Yeah, he posted about the Penguin and Superman together.
All right, this is not RJ. Thanks for visiting. God damn it. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I was surprised you were talking about this and not what I thought you were going to talk about today.
Well, what was I going to talk about? The article where they're saying ignore the trolls?
No, that's not what the article said. It was the article about how the studios are going to navigate toxic fandoms going forward.
Yes, we're going to discuss that.
Yeah, that's the big
topic. No, I got here late.
No, that was the next topic. I was all praising James Gunn last night when I heard about the potential of Deathstroke in Bane in the Secret Six. I think that's a fire idea.
By
I
the
don't know
way,
if
I think you're getting your Green Lantern casting next week.
Oh yeah, they said they're actually screen testing. I retweeted your tweet.
They're probably picking somebody pretty soon.
Yeah, those are awesome choices for sure. Okay, here's my apology to James Gunn. I jumped the James Gunn and I blamed him for taking credit for Joker 2, but my friend RJ corrected me. Okay, so all right. Sorry, James Gunn.
You want to make a topic?
When was
I
this
mean,
tweeted?
no. We could save the topic because if you want to have a topic or a conversation, you might ask, well, why is it that he doesn't want to talk about this movie? Why is it that he doesn't want to promote it?
I don't want to mouth him so bad. I thought in my mind, I'll be real robotic, Dre. I consistently mix things up. That's the issue I have. I forget things. I mix things up. And in my mind, I thought for sure he was promoting Joker 2, but it was probably, now that I'm thinking, it was probably the Superman documentary. Yeah.
Which people got mad.
It's everybody who attacks Max. When he's wrong, he says he's wrong.
Yeah. And robotic Dre, have you every right to call me out too? To be fair, I say that does not impact the quality of his project whatsoever. Right? I said I'm still looking forward to all his projects. And honestly, what he's done and the projects that are coming, the rumors about the potential new projects are surpassing my wildest expectations. I never thought he would go this, this prolific with all the projects. So, okay, but all right. So to be fair, then let's read his full quote. Todd had Joker in full swing by the time we came on board. I've watched and given notes, but it is mostly with WB where it started. Everything forward in live action we're involved. Yeah.
So when was this tweeted though?
So my apologies to Bruce too, because he did say in here that I've given notes too.
That I don't know. I don't know when this.
How long was that? Yeah. See, I'm curious. I mean, I believe. Look, that's always what I thought. I don't think he had anything to do, as if James Gunn's going to have anything to do with Todd Phillips and creating.
I think he really just stayed clear out of the way. Same with the Matt Reeves stuff with Penguin and everything. It's like he just stays out of the way and it's kind of like he'll give them notes or like give them comments of what he thinks, but they do whatever they want to do.
But it doesn't impact the project.
Yeah, it's just whatever they want to do.
Okay, cool. Maybe they don't want your notes, James.
No, they did it, and he didn't. I don't think he gave it. I mean, and Warner Brothers probably told Todd Phillips, "You made $1 billion movie. Do whatever you want, man. Go for it."
Yeah, which we'll see how it works out. I mean, so far, I'm seeing the movie tomorrow, but I am blown away by just like how negative the backlash has been to this movie. Like, it's just been like,
Perp, your thoughts on the Joker getting non-consensually cuddled by another man in this movie?
Well, I didn't know that was in the movie. I didn't know.
It happens.
Oh, jeez.
Confirmed by Crazy Joe.
Perp, I'm embarrassed. I already got my first L. RJ delivered it again. I don't like it.
What happened?
My title.
That's why I always yell at him when he's in my stream.
James Gunn takes credit for Joker 2's quality, then says nothing to do with it. But he was actually promoting the Penguin.
He got
and
mixed
the
up
Superman
with Penguin and
documentary.
documentary.
I thought he was promoting Joker 2.
Yeah.
So he actually mysteriously did not promote Joker 2 at all.
He didn't mention the Joker movie at all. He hasn't really acknowledged it outside of like somebody asking him about it.
I think he knows that the fans are not gonna like it. If that's my take. I think James Gunn knows what fans.
So
like,
he didn't say. I suppose this doesn't change anyone's opinion that he actually liked Flash, right?
He did not actually like Flash.
Oh, okay.
He said he did. I mean, yes, if you're going 100% on his word and not consider him like James Cameron. James Cameron always pumps things up more than they should be.
If he didn't like Flash, why would he even talk about it?
I'm sure that
because
liking and singing is one of the best super movies of all time are very different things.
I think he thought it was a 6.5, 7 out of 10. I believe that.
I mean, I have no way to prove it, to be fair to Perp and Joe, because Joe said he completely destroyed me on this debate. I have no way to prove it. I just don't think he thought that was one of the best superhero movies of all time. I'm sure he enjoyed some of it. Yeah. I just think that's his salesman in him.
How come he didn't do that for Joker, though?
Good point. Good point. That is weird. He usually oversells things. In my opinion.
If he likes them.
Yeah.
See, Max, I'll help you with your argument. I'll play the devil's advocate role. You could say that maybe after Flash, he realized if he doesn't have full faith in a project, he's not going to promote it that much or talk about it.
Okay.
I also think he realized that him saying, like, instead of just saying, I really love The Flash, and him saying it's one of the best movies, he realized that was kind of stupid to say that much. And maybe he learned
it was
his lesson.
because he learned his lesson from The Flash. That's
Or
why.
he saw Max calling him out on it.
He's not promoting Joker at all.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I have not seen him post about it whatsoever. He's really just been focused on.
He was at the
Superman
premiere
documentary, and he's been doing a lot more promotion for the Superman documentary and the Penguin. That's the two things he's focused on.
He was at the premiere, though. He was at the premiere.
He was at the premiere for Penguin and the Superman documentary. I don't think he was at the Joker premiere because that was at Venice, the film festival.
Droga says if any DC movies flop, it won't be his fault, apparently. I don't think any that he's directly involved with are going to flop.
Well, no, if they flop, it's the fault of the Snyder fans, obviously.
No,
I'm kidding.
Listen,
this wasn't under his watch. You never greenlit this one.
Make people mad.
This is not his movie.
Oh, Perp, you always make excuses for James Gunn. This isn't his. Have we seen his stuff yet?
Just a week ago, I was arguing that he didn't have anything to do with these, and people said, well, he's given notes and everything.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Dude, James Cameron probably gave some of these notes. Tom Cruise gave a note.
What kind of notes?
Well,
what kind of notes does James Gunn give?
I believe all you Gunn nuts, if it was a success, you'd be like, see, James Gunn bringing it. I feel like
it's probably similar to what Kevin Feige did because
Joker.
Kevin Feige in the past, before the Sony stuff, he gave notes to like a bunch of the Marvel movies, like the Fox X-Men movies and the Sony Andrew Garfield movies. He would just give advice like, hey, I don't think this is going to necessarily be for the best creatively or work out with the fans. Maybe do this instead. Most of the time they wouldn't listen, but, you just give notes and they assess what you think and then they go from there.
I do have another question, though.
Interesting.
Because of this, William already replied to me on X. Because of the failure of Joker 2.
Well, it's a bit early.
No, the audience reaction is worse than the critic score, man. It's bad. Look, I want to see it still, but the box office and the critic score and like all the cinemas, like I don't know if the cinema score's out yet, but there's other type of
it'll probably be out
review.
Tonight,
there's other things on X that I was seeing where right after people that actually purchased tickets were there's some survey they have after they gave it like a half star. People are not happy with this movie. So with this, I asked, did Todd Phillips just kill some DC Elseworlds projects? Because if they were consistently getting success outside of what James Gunn was doing, they might have greenlit some more things. But I think this is going to have some ramifications on other projects they might consider. Like I hope they'll still go forward with Constantine 2, because that's outside what James Gunn's doing. The Matt Reeves stuff, that's a sure thing, but they could have experimented more. But I don't know if they will now, especially since Warner Brothers is consistently overreactionary. I know that people are going to say, well, James is there, but still, it's still Warner Brothers.
Max, if I made this, I wouldn't call this one an experimental. They tried to make it. It's like, hey, but technically the first Joker is the experimental one, and it worked out to $1 billion. This is a sequel.
Yeah, but this is nothing like the first one by all accounts, right, Perp?
Sure. But people wanted that. People, I think, responded to that freshness, and I think going with more of a spiritual sequel, like what I've been saying, concentrating on villains, doing takes like a Joker version villains, it's working out for the Penguin right now. Like people love like doing serious takes on these villains, doing a mob take or whatever the Joker was, drama, social issue take, like. I think that's what people responded to.
I honestly think the issue is not the fact that I don't think it's going to impact Elseworlds, like in terms of them making these movies.
I do.
What I think it's going to
No.
impact is
from expanding it more than they would.
No,
al-
just to
yeah.
to finish my point, I think it's going to impact the budget that they give those projects, because Joker 2 I think costs like 250 million production.
That's all casting.
Like it costs like way more than the first movie.
Well, yeah, but you I
What's
would
gonna happen? Sorry, go ahead.
Who wouldn't green light 250 for Joker
Exactly.
2 after the first one made a billion?
No, I
Thank
get
you.
it,
That's
but I'm
exactly
just
what I was
saying
gonna
for
say,
the
Voltaire.
future, I don't think that they need, like, for these Elseworlds more experimental movies, it's got to be like 100 million top.
So here, okay, I see your point, but listen, I don't think this impacts Elseworlds, because I think that the future Elseworlds will have James Gunn stamp of approval on them. These ones don't. I'm telling you, James Gunn is waiting for the Matt Reeves stuff to be done, and he's waiting for all this stuff, for all these things that he didn't have control over. And you know what? He's not going to disavow these things. He has to be a hype man for them. So what else would he do? Any of us in his position, you'd be forced to be a hype man, if nothing else. It's just interesting that he's not hyping this one, which makes me think that either he learned his lesson from The Flash, or he really thinks it's bad and wants to somewhat distance himself. It's telling to me that he didn't show up at the premiere. I don't care.
I thought he was at the premiere. Maybe that was just
RJ
Well,
said
no. I think he was only at the premiere for Penguin and the Superman documentary. I don't think he was at the one for Joker, because Joker premiered at the Venice Film Festival.
But so what? He can get on a private jet. Like, what's the
he might have been filming back, because this was a few months ago premiered, I think, if I remember correctly.
It was in the summer.
Has anyone here seen it yet?
No, I'm seeing it tomorrow afternoon.
Okay. Let me know what you let us all know what you think.
I hope
Cyberpunk
I enjoyed
Dystopia,
it.
please calm down. Please don't have any battles with anyone else in the chat. I don't know if you're kidding or not. I have no idea. I don't know if this is just playing a role or a joke. I'm an old man, an old movie man. I have no idea what's going on, but please
Don't
chill.
lose
We're
your
all
shit.
chill. We're all chilling. Yeah, don't effing lose your shit.
So you won't say effing, but you'll say that word. Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, that's a PG-13 difference, RJ.
I do think the reception of Joker 2 is going to cause them not to expand Elseworld projects.
Why?
Like, it depends on the box office.
Just focus on James Gunn stuff. Maybe Constantine 2 will still happen, I hope, because it's Keanu Reeves. And the Batman, I do think I think there's a sudden change with Matt Reeves and James Gunn, where it seems like they're working more as a collaborative effort now, since they announced that duo project, the new animated project, so it does seem like there might even be an announcement coming for Matt Reeves too, how much he's going to be involved in James Gunn's DC. Okay, so here's a super chat from Rational Skeptic. Oh no, I read that one already.
Oh my god.
Rational Skeptic $2, but I don't think
hang on,
so
we
at
didn't
all.
really address that issue. So
will Zachary Levi return DC after supporting Trump? No, I don't think he was really going to before.
Yeah, I don't think he was going to if he was playing ball, whatever that means.
I mean, he's gonna say it's because of his political opinions.
Yeah,
due to the
but
fact
that's what most cringy people say.
Right? No, but
I
like,
really think
the reality is that the movie was a spectacular flop, and like they're going in a different direction.
It's a factor.
Spectacular. Come on.
It's a factor, but really the biggest thing in Hollywood is how successful you are. Zachary Levi is not talented or successful enough to have bad opinions that people
Can I tell you?
I'm not saying it's a bad opinion, but most people think it's a bad opinion.
He hit Harold and the Purple Crayon made more money than Ungentlemanly Warfare. So would you say Zachary's hotter than Henry Cavill?
Did you do that just for Joe? No, I wouldn't say that at all.
Well,
the last few projects from Zachary.
Don't you mention Cavalrine?
Well, no. Are we counting PVOD though? Because I know that movie blew up on PVOD and was like hitting the charts, like #1 spot for weeks on end.
Yeah, Harold. Yeah, I know.
No, not Harold. Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Well, I hope you're sitting down when you check out Harold's PVOD.
Okay.
Yeah, purple all over your face.
I love that Joe loves it, and I'm glad it exists. I just no. I would rather watch Challengers than the Purple Crayon. That's how much I don't want to see the
Challenge accepted.
I would rather see Challengers. I don't.
You know
want
what's funny? This is a total side note. So I go see movies a lot of times with my dad. My dad like despises Wicked at this point. Like he thinks that movie looks absolutely terrible.
I think it looks good.
I don't think it looks that bad, but for some reason he's just like so turned off by it. Like he thinks Ariana Grande can't act. It's so funny. Like, he's like, I can't stand that trailer because they keep showing the Wicked trailer every single time we go to the movies. It's just like, oh, I don't know.
Okay.
This is funny to me.
So Rational sent $2 to say, look at the tweet I DM'd you. So let me bring this up.
Man,
I don't know why. I don't know why. Okay, it's going to be the last Rotten DC project for a very long time. And then a large individual says, until people get tired of Gunn's formula of 2-hour-long music videos where whatever happens in the movie is secondary to the mic drops. I think
that that's a weird prediction to even make because you're basically implying that like after this, no DC movie will ever get bad reviews again. It's just, I don't know. It's a little bit too corporate bootlicking, in my opinion. Like, it's just like, okay, I get it. You're excited, but come on.
The whole team side thing that's going on in Twitter between these movies, sometimes it's like ridiculous. I see it
What do you
sometimes.
mean?
Just how like you have some people trashing Gunn, then you have the other side trashing Snyder, just bringing it up. It's just like it's really bad, man.
I mean, it's been
like
going on.
ridiculous.
It's been going on for almost 2 years.
No, but I never seen it. Like I guess maybe now it's hitting my feed, but Jesus, it's like people calm down. Like every
we're basically
everything is brought. Those two are always brought up. They're always brought up for everything.
I will say this. It's funny. It is funny. It's people like to argue.
They
like to argue. They don't want to be
right?
positive. They don't.
I wouldn't even use the word funny anymore. I think it's just sad.
It's sad, yeah.
I will say we have 30 viewers and only 8 likes.
Like the video, you cowards.
Come on, everyone. Help
be entertaining. Come on, let's give them some awesome content.
If you want more guests like we're having today with Perp and RJ, I only let him on because he says this stream needs Jesus, and I was like Resident Jesus, and then he delivered me an embarrassing out. I feel like a politician. I get fact checked in real time. It's embarrassing. Like,
someone has to give the context.
You could always avoid that by like
just like
looking
research.
stuff up.
Here, I misspoke.
That's good.
I saved it, right, Voltaire?
My take was way more nuanced than you could understand.
If you say you're wrong when you say you're wrong, you know, hey, what are you gonna do?
I misspoke. I was not in China at that time.
I mean,
I was
easy.
You want to know what would be crazy? If Joker 2 like doesn't open to 50 million, but then Smile 2 comes out in 2 weeks and like blows out the box office of Joker 2. Wouldn't that be crazy?
It's just funny to me. I thought the Lady Gaga fans alone would carry this movie.
But see, here's the problem, Voltaire. From what they were describing, she's not in the movie that much.
Yeah,
like,
they
underused
some
her.
got. That's what I saw.
Like Gaga
I was,
fans.
And also, where has she been? What's new music has she done? Like, you know,
she
like
dropped
when
the whole album.
Yeah,
for this movie specific.
No, I know.
Before that,
they did like she did like an album of music inspired by the movie, but that music is not in the movie. Like that would have really helped.
What was she doing before that? I can't imagine when was the last time I heard a hit song.
She was in, I think, was House of Gucci,
which was like how many years ago? Like
I love that.
A couple years ago.
She's really good in that movie.
I didn't see that one yet. I love
like the whole like
Taylor
Swift thing. It's like that lady's constantly coming up with stuff like constantly.
Yeah, but she's not an
she's
actress
on top.
Too. False comparison.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'll take that out.
I will say I just use the example of Dunkirk. I remember I had a gal working for me, and she took her and her 15-year-old sister and her friends to Dunkirk of all movies. Why? Because Harry Styles was in it. Like these girls don't care about World War II. You know what I mean? But they just heard Harry.
How do you know that?
Because they didn't know anything about it. Come on, they couldn't even tell me who the Axis powers were. You know what I mean? So they went just because of Harry Styles. Okay, 15-year-old girls are not going to Dunkirk because they're World War II buffs. They're going because of Harry Styles.
Harry Styles, yeah.
So I
what
thought
about Kenneth Branagh?
In the UK, they're even more popular. Yeah.
All right. Okay, I stand corrected. Perp, you got me. Okay, those 15-year-old girls were going for Kenneth Branagh and
yeah,
World War II.
That's all those young girls talk about nowadays.
Pretty much.
They heard the aerial combat was practical. Some
Yeah.
girls like that.
It was practical. I'll give it that.
Okay. Well, Sean Hickman's. Listen, I like Tim Walz. I like him
Why'd you bring that up?
because I'm fair. I'm not going to go too
It's
much.
the
into
mic
politics.
drop.
He did not do a good. He did not.
Oh,
do a
you could
good
do
job.
politics. You could do politics and
No,
mic
he
drop.
just didn't do a good
Content or
job. I still
police anyone
follow.
on this channel.
You could do
follow-
politics and mic drop.
I care about the country. I care. I care. He did not do great. I think I don't think it's going to impact him though because he's still very likable.
It's not going to impact the country either, so don't worry about it. It's a vice presidential debate.
The best thing is, thoughts go out to anyone impacted by the hurricanes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, of course.
Thank goodness the dock worker strike is resolved because this was like an epic disaster, and hopefully people in need get the help they need. Really,
Yeah.
I really.
And all you people who are hoarding from Costco because of these this dock worker strike.
Oh, I went to Costco yesterday. It was bad. but then they announced there was stuff
bad.
gone. There was like, why is there no water bottles? But to be honest, if there's water bottles, the priority is probably Georgia, North Carolina, and Florida. The water bottles going there instead of new stock to our,
Perp, our man in Florida, are you affected by these hurricanes at all? Are you okay, brother?
Yeah, it hit.
Okay,
It was
so
fine though. I didn't. Thank God I didn't lose power.
Perp got
Good,
wet
good.
when he went out to the.
Oh,
to
yeah,
the
it was
farmer's
wet.
market.
and our
He
thoughts
was
go out
telling you.
to all those impacted. It's a
Yes.
life changer.
Oh
the,
yeah.
the one place in North Carolina, they said the community had a lot of small businesses, and they did all these statistics. They're like, it's so impacted. I forget what that area is called. It's so bad that community is never going to recover. And they say when these storms are this bad, more than 60% of the businesses never reopened. So that community it's really hard for all those small businesses that were really succeeding in a thriving community. And honestly, who's going to want to live there? With that, I mean, people are going to want to live there, but not like it was a go-to place. Very sad, very sad.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Thoughts and non-denominational prayers.
Mm-hmm. There was hardly any toilet paper towels in my Walmart yesterday.
Good gosh.
Yeah.
Thanks for the report, Mary Wilcox. Boots on the ground. That's
Yeah,
what
and
we
hey,
got.
Mary.
Correspondent.
Hope you get that because it's rough without it. Although Voltaire, this is a perfect segue for Voltaire's infomercial. If we could get sponsored by
All right,
a
everybody.
company,
Hearts out to everybody on the southeastern seaboard affected by Huracana Elena and the evils from that. But toilet paper need not be an issue if you install a $30 bidet. You don't need a plumber to do it.
Mm.
And if you have that installed, your reliance on big toilet paper will be you'll be free from big toilet paper.
You're gonna get hurricane water up your ass.
Yes.
well, hopefully you have water. True.
Dirty water.
Well said. Well, that's if you have water, But to be honest, one of the first things they install when they fix is water and electricity. So, toilet paper in paper towels are hard to come
Don't
by.
be a slave to big toilet paper, everybody.
Yeah, don't be a slave to toilet paper.
Big toilet paper.
Free your ass. Give it a blast.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I am having a fun time tonight, though. I'm drinking.
Oh, I see why. Yeah, you
I'm
put it up.
drinking one Yingling.
Don't judge the man.
So
I'm happy. I'm happy.
I just said he's having fun. I was
It's
agreeing with
Friday
him.
night. The man's worked all week. He can have a
Hey,
beer.
there is. I'm not going to be here the whole
No,
time.
it's been a. Oh, that's fine.
No, but I did want to talk about one subject.
Okay, cool.
Perp has the floor.
I
Oh,
wanted
I
to
forgot
talk-
what I was going to say.
Drink that Yingling.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Perp. Go ahead before you forget what you're going to say.
A lot of people, I guess maybe it's just Twitter. A lot of people are freaking out over this. Getting fan groups together from studios, or getting sort of these groups together. These fan groups. RJ, you know what I'm talking about.
Well, that's what Voltaire wanted to do anyway. Talk about that.
Oh, perfect.
Topics,
Well, I don't want it to be the last one. I wanted to see because I'm not
No,
gonna
it's
be
a
here the
very important topic, and I have a hot
Yes.
take on it too.
Me too.
Let me
The
see.
article is in the private chat, Max, if you want to address it. The second one.
Okay, hold on. I am going to start by saying.
Mhm.
Hold on a second.
We're hearing RJ breathing, by the way.
You okay, RJ?
Did he fall asleep?
He
I
fell
think
asleep.
RJ had a long week.
RJ fell asleep.
Don't mock him. I've been there.
He's
Did
like,
you really fall asleep? Is this a
yeah,
joke?
of course. Dude, you could hear him sleeping. He's like almost snoring. RJ, bro.
Success. You are great.
RJ,
Self-esteem.
we were
Try
going
to
to cover a
keep
hot
positive
topic, RJ.
affirmations in his sleep.
RJ,
You can succeed. Your dreams can
RJ,
come true. Hard work is the
RJ,
key.
it's the main topic.
CJH is in the house.
You are capable, RJ.
All right,
Don't
I'm
let
going to mute
your
him. I don't want
doubts-
to be embarrassed.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
We could just have okay, $10 super chat. I will just leave RJ here to snore the rest of the night, and we're just gonna go. No, I'm just kidding. I won't do that to him.
RJ,
It was a joke. It's a joke.
you had
I'll
one
mute him.
job.
That's
The man might
hilarious.
have had a hard week, had a few drinks, and he passed out.
Let me get on
He's
here,
a working man. Now
Yeah.
people understand me.
He's a
What is
working
this
man.
BS?
bro. Voltaire once gave me the most shit on here for yawning once. Like, and he was like, look at
Voltaire
him, look at
fell
this, look at this guy.
The Voltaire fell asleep.
I
once.
fell asleep. It was
Oh, yeah.
shameful.
I've never done that. Never
Like,
done that.
JD Vance says good night, RJ. What is your response?
Good night, sweet prince. May you dream of dandelions.
I got to say, I don't like JD Vance, and I think he was lying, but he did a better job.
All right, pull up the article.
He did, but I don't believe what he was saying. What he said was saying he
I
sounded
didn't
reasonable.
even watch the debates.
Woo, that's really emo of you, and really cool.
What do you mean emo?
Like, I don't care, man. I'm a
I already
nihilist.
know who I'm voting for. I'm good.
Okay, well, I'm gonna
your
call
vote
out
matters.
everyone, and I was part of the problem for quite some time as well. This article from Variety basically proves, and I think the most accurate, the best advice you ever get on the internet is don't feed the trolls. Don't feed the trolls. There's no winning. They have no bottom of how low they'll go. They will make your life a living hell, and they have no talent of their own. They latch on like a effing leech. So I'm talking about the geeks and gamers, the nerdrotics, and I should have ignored
Max is naming names, everybody.
quartering all that,
Quartering.
BS, all the anti-SJWs. I was part of the problem for so long. You don't feed the trolls. You ignore them. They're just gonna help them. And you're part of the problem. You've been trying to get them canceled or removed from platforms. It just doesn't do anything.
Who's you?
Lots of people that are involved in these
You
campaigns.
perp, he's talking about you.
If you really want to make a difference, go radio silence on these mother effers. Go radio silence on them.
But isn't that what Hollywood's been doing all this time? And
No,
it's
they
only growing?
haven't. They haven't.
What do you mean?
And
No,
even
they haven't.
Kathy
What
Kennedy-
studio? What studio
Kathy-
has
to
responded?
Bring it back to Kathy.
What
how
official
Kathy-
studio? Oh my
How
god!
Kathy failed again. She did not take the advice of Variety. I will bring up Kathy. One of the last quotes she said was, "We are not going to change course based on fan outcry." Don't even say that. It would be better if she just stayed silent. She
But they
comes out and
asked.
says something like that. It's stupid. Absolutely bad leadership based on this Variety article. And that's my initial point of view, but I would love to get you, Perp.
Sure.
Voltaire. I would love to get RJ, but he's sleeping. So, Perp, that's my initial thoughts is we're all part of the problem. Go radio silence on these mother effers. And Kathy is the worst culprit because she says we're not going to change course because of fan outcry. If you're not having success lately, just be quiet and get to work.
But what do you mean not having success when Disney didn't they just have a $1 billion profit?
Season 2.
$1 billion profit last year.
Oh my God.
$1 billion
Do we have
profit.
to
Didn't
we
they
to
have the
debate
worst year
success
last
all the
year?
time?
Wasn't the Little Mermaid supposed to take the whole
People-
place down?
People not having a job and job security at Lucasfilm is failure. She doesn't lose her job. The people at Lucasfilm do. The actors
Who lost
do.
the jobs? Who lost their jobs?
The Acolyte actors.
No, they
Leslie
didn't get renewed. They didn't get
Leslie
renewed. That's
Headland.
part of,
Do you
that is
think
part of the business. That's
Leslie
not her. Like,
Headland- Leslie, that's
God.
not failure's part of the business? What a
no,
great
not
business.
getting renewed. Yes, sometimes it's not going to work out. And you're not going to get renewed. They know.
When
They
you-
all knew that. That's not a failure.
When you have the added benefit of having Star Wars as a prop to prop you up on any project you want to do, and you still fail, you deserve the failure. I'm sorry.
$1 billion on Star Wars merchandise alone. $1 billion. That's what.
Yeah,
Bruce
but Acolyte got season 2 got
How is
plug
that?
pulled. Leslie Headland. They
This
spent
is
so
why I
much
say you're
time
insane
propping up
sometimes.
Leslie Headland.
This is why
to
you're
say-
saying it's a failure when they got $1 billion profit. What are you defining failure as? Not being renewed.
Are you talking about the toy sales? That's
Show's not continuing. New projects. Like if you have
some shows aren't continuing.
have
Some
a,
are.
if
That's
you have
Hollywood.
A product line that's at a grocery store or a new toy
Acolyte,
line.
Acolyte isn't continuing. Ahsoka is.
If you introduce, like if you're Hasbro or Mattel and you introduce a new doll or action figure and you say, oh, the Acolyte series of dolls or action figures is going to be legit. You promote that for like 2 years. It releases. You're about to get the second line, a second next season of
Are you
figures and dolls.
Is that what everyone in Hollywood?
That is a failure.
Guys, this is what you just talked about how you were the problem. And that's exactly why. You just talked about how you guys were the problem, and you're illustrating why. Here,
I love the show.
No, what Max was saying earlier, was it not? It was like, no, it's because of the neurotics and all that stuff, and you're demonstrating why by saying like Acolyte was a failure because they didn't renew. You're ignoring everything else and just saying this one thing that it's a 50-50 in Hollywood.
I will admit
every single show, right?
I think, and
you're ignoring Ahsoka getting season 2. You're ignoring their upcoming show, the freaking Skeleton Crew, and you're saying because they didn't get it renewed for a second season,
and
it's a failure.
The problems with all the other announced projects, and people are going to go debate if they were officially announced or announced through the trades.
$1 profit.
Limiting, you have Bob Iger admitting that they need to limit their output. This is the man at the top,
so they could get $2 billion.
So what does that $1 billion toy profit mean that you're referencing?
That's great.
What is the fail? What exactly is the failure that Kathleen
that means that they're even more of a failure, Perp, because they have a cushion of IP, licensing their IP, getting extra income that way, and they still can't continue with these projects. They have all these.
They're continuing with Ahsoka. Why are you ignoring Ahsoka?
That's great. Mandalorian's also having some issues. They're saying
what are some issues?
They're saying that
they turned
the bad reception for season 3. They changed it to a movie, and now it may not continue. It may just be that.
Okay.
And I will admit one thing to you, Perp.
And that's bad.
That this is the industry.
They have an ending?
And this is my biggest issue with the industry. I cannot stand.
How's Andor season 2 doing?
What's what?
How's Andor season 2 doing?
Andor season 2. I do not know how that. I'm happy they're making it. I do not know how it's getting made at all. It does not.
Some things work out, and something doesn't.
And the viewership does
That's
not
Hollywood.
justify the making a season 2. Honestly,
some things work out and some things don't.
So
Star Wars is a high price. There's so much eyes on Star Wars that when something doesn't work out, it's a freaking look what happens.
Well, I've consistently said this is my major problem with Hollywood is they just abandon projects and everyone wants a clean slate and they just keep doing this, and whereas if they at least shortened and finished projects, you can have an evergreen product.
You just complained about the Mandalorian doing that. You just literally complained about the Mandalorian doing that with a movie.
I'm happy Mandalorian's getting some type of conclusion.
Okay, so that's
yes.
How's that an L? Then you said Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian's
that's
not an L, but the Acolyte and Rey and other things Kathy's promoted have been a failure, including not admitting that projects are not going forward.
Okay.
You have Bob Iger going out and saying we need to limit these projects, Marvel and Lucasfilm.
And have they? Have they not?
Yes.
So they're doing okay. When did Bob Iger say that?
I don't remember the
like
date.
Last year, and we're still holding Kathleen Kennedy to the same like what?
Well, no, I would say Kathy Kennedy is not taking any. Hopefully, she will read this Variety article. Kathy, read this article and don't make stupid comments like that. That says we are not changing based on fan outcry.
You could make all
that doesn't help anything. I want if I was in charge, I would want everyone complaining, everyone to see my Star Wars movies. What about you, Voltaire?
So both of you have valid points, by the way. So, Perp, is there a more just answer this question, yes or no? Is there a more valuable IP in movie making than Star Wars? No, there's not.
No.
That's the answer.
No.
Okay, so
Okay.
Max's point of the cushion, you can't ignore that. So this is why they feel like they can put like a documentary filmmaker on a project and not worry about it. You know what I mean? Have they done as well as they expected? No. Are they doing okay?
They bought
other properties.
you guys are so crazy because they bought Star Wars for $4 billion. Check how much it's worth now. Check how much it's worth now.
That's
It's
inflation.
yeah,
you know?
it's
Like,
making
this
money.
is
It's
insane.
not where it should be though.
What do you mean? How much? Where should it be? Where should it be before you check?
So when Disney bought Star Wars, what did they want? They had a vision for a Marvel type of thing where there was 1 to 2 movies every single year, major releases, right? Would you agree with that?
Say
No?
that. Ask that again. Sorry.
Okay, so when when Disney purchased Star Wars, they envisioned like a Marvel type of thing where there was 1 to 2 major film releases every single year.
Yeah.
You agree with that?
Yeah,
When
that was
they-
the original plan.
When they did this Star Wars
Okay.
story, and then they promoted Solo's Star Wars story. Yeah.
Correct. That was
Yes.
their vision because that's how they would make the most profit off of it.
Sure.
They,
Okay.
You'll agree that they failed miserably at that plan, right?
Yes, they rerouted, so that's an L.
Okay, a big L.
What year was that?
When they bought it,
They haven't
2012.
made a
When
movie
did
since.
when did the reroute start?
After
Like, this
Last Jedi and Solo.
Yeah, years ago, exactly. And we're still talking about it like they're acting like
since
Last
that
Jedi.
time-
Well, they haven't released a
since
movie
that,
since
there you
then.
go.
that they've
That's my
announced.
next point, Max.
Yeah.
So since that time, they finished a trilogy, and they haven't released anything in the theater since.
No,
And how many projects have they announced and canceled?
2.
You're going to say
Officially canceled
officially.
too.
You're going to say officially.
Okay, officially.
They use Star Wars Celebration. They use all these major trades.
Oh, the Ryan Johnson trilogy, all that shit.
Well,
Was
that's
that?
still happening, according to them. He's busy, but it's going to happen,
Maybe it is.
right?
I,
So my point
I
is,
hope Kathleen Kennedy has like this 10-year plan and she's like, oh, when he's done, don't
She
worry, we're
hasn't
gonna
done
get him
this.
in
not 10
2020.
years to produce
Listen,
a 10-year
to be
plan.
fair,
Watch,
if we
she sets this all up.
if we respect Kathy as the president of Lucasfilm, if you actually respect her, you will criticize her just like you do everyone else.
But
so when we're thinking
you
about
don't know
James
what she
Gunn,
does.
look what
You-
James Gunn has
You don't
accomplished
know what
already.
she does.
James
How
Gunn
can
has
you criticize her if you don't even know what she does?
well, to use the comparison, DC
D-
was almost in a worse position than Star Wars, in my opinion.
Okay.
Before
yeah.
James Gunn take over, and look what James Gunn's accomplished so far.
I don't know what.
He's already filmed Superman.
Okay.
You got Peacemaker season 2 already filmed.
Okay.
He's getting Supergirl together with a diverse cast, and then like a female writer for Supergirl, I believe.
Okay.
He's active. He's active on the diversity. He's not promoting it like that, but he did. He is using diversity in his projects too.
Okay.
He's doing a lot better than she is.
Okay.
So I
So
think
what?
that's
I don't
fair.
understand. What do you mean?
And she has one job.
haven't
He has
seen a
2.
movie. He just started and he hasn't even released anything.
Yeah, well, okay. So I don't
No,
know.
but the
I don't know.
projects are
Okay,
underway.
sure.
We
But
know
look
for a
at
fact.
you're happy about him. Yeah, okay.
No, we know for a fact that Superman is filmed.
$1
We
billion
know for a
dollars.
fact that Peacemaker is filmed.
Okay.
And
What
we-
show's coming out on Christmas? With
Creature
the,
Commandos,
what else? Skeleton Crew?
Skeleton Crew. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
That
yeah.
don't count.
So
That
we
don't
got
count.
kind of sidetracked. That's not the point. What's
Andor
the-
next year, right?
Andor
what's-
season
what's the
2.
point of
Yeah,
honestly,
for-
I'm happy that they're getting a conclusion, but that I
But
don't know.
you need to complain about
I
something.
think no. I think it's just because you have Tony Gilroy and you don't let go of Tony Gilroy if he wants to complete a story. And I don't know.
Really?
They were going to do more seasons of that show, and it's just I think this next one's going to be the end of it.
I don't understand what you're saying.
I-
that this is not
I
Kathleen
do-
Kennedy.
I do-
Like this is an
I do
excuse
think it
for
would
not
be-
giving props to Kathleen Kennedy. What do you mean by this?
Well, I really don't feel the lack of success of that show justifies season 2, except there would be a big hole and a gap if you just dropped Andor, though. If you left Andor season 1 and then you just had Rogue One, the original trilogy, it would be pretty glaring hole in the story.
It is very interesting that they are gun ho on finishing Andor when it didn't produce.
Well, I think that must be part of it. Tony Gilroy. It wasn't the success of the show the reason they're getting the season 2.
I think it's Kathleen Kennedy because she's a true storyteller and she wants to finish the story. Whatever the rating.
I will give her credit there. Fine,
yeah,
go ahead.
Sure. Okay,
and if she's the reason the first,
give her credit.
She's the first reason Andor existed too, because she got Tony Gilroy to come back.
Yeah.
Even though I would have preferred, I
She's
would
the
have rather
best.
see Gareth. No, I'm not saying that. Gareth Edwards'
She's the
original
best.
vision.
No one could do Star
Okay,
Wars.
chime
like
in,
her.
RJ.
Well, wait, hang on. We got a little bit off we got a little off topic. So, what is your problem with that plan of getting like super fans in a focus group, Perp? What is your problem with that?
I have no problem with that at all. I actually like it, and I think people are freaking out. I think,
why is that bad? That's a good thing.
Yes, I think that's a good thing, and I think people don't realize. I think they could get their first possible clue how like maybe complicated these things are, and it's not that easy. Is like, especially if they're saying they're caving to bigots. Let's say, for example, they get a bigot in there.
Who said
all right?
they're caving to bigots?
Yeah, I'm saying Twitter. That's what I heard a lot. It's like, Disney's caving to bigots or whatever the hell by doing this shit, right?
No,
they're caving to.
Go ahead.
You guys haven't heard that on Twitter?
Yeah.
No,
Well,
I haven't been on
X
X that much.
Just because like that doesn't mean you're going to put geeks and gamers in that.
Sure, but let's say I'm saying the worst case scenario is like, let's do that. It's like, okay, they're going to bring them in there and they're going to have them explain exactly what is wrong, why it's wrong, and they're going to have to do that. Because they're not going to just take any note. They want to hear these people out, right? So that this is where they have the opportunity to actually see, okay, you want to say why? And I bet you $100 they're going to choke. And on top of that, this also is going to make them look good because they're going to be taking in notes from people that do have like probably legitimate things that they could work on or fix on, maybe an edit here, edit there. So all these things are going to be jumbled together. And I think we live in a time where maybe movies or film and all, there seems to be like their audience and fans are having like this almost like a parasocial relationship. And I know that word gets used a lot, but like, I think there was this connection that people had with having spoken about Sonic, change Sonic. And there was this celebration when it happened. And these people felt this connection to that film. Right. I think that's part of the success is that people feel a part, like they had something to do with it in a way. And I think when you have that mind frame and you're putting these sort of these groups together, you're going to be taking in the good notes. You're going to be like acknowledging that, okay, the quote unquote bigot ones have this to say, and maybe we could circumvent this and that. They're not going to like replace like if there's a race swap or gender swap or any shit, they're not going to replace that. Just because these people said it. And I think I think those people are going to go back feeling a part of that film.
I think what they're trying to say here is don't change what you're going to do. But like, for example, like the Leslie Headland and the what's her name? Amanda Stenberg in an interview saying this is the gayest Star Wars has ever been. On the promo thing, I don't have any issue with that. I guess they're saying don't give ammo or give food to the trolls so they can use that. I don't know. I don't want to censor people. I don't want to censor my talent either, though. But yeah, every time there's an interview when this stuff comes out, and every time Voltaire, back me up here. Every time the creatives are doing that, I don't care, but people do, unfortunately. Do you censor them? What do you do? Do you censor them?
But here's the thing. A lot of the times there's new demographics. There's new like for all these like the LGBTQ plus and minorities and all this. There's like women sites, all this stuff. And that's what these they're the ones getting access. And so like the interviews are doing like they're being cherry picked.
Yeah, then the interviewers are part of the problem because they want that sound bite. They want their stuff to go viral.
Yes.
So you know what? If I was the head of a project, I would sit all the actors down. Yes, Bruce I would say, everybody shut up. Everybody be Leo DiCaprio and don't be controversial. Don't say anything. Just let's go out and say we were making a great project and we know the fans are going to love it. We're bringing something new to the fans and we hope they love it. And don't mention anything else. Yes, I would say that. Absolutely. I would absolutely mention that Say be
You shouldn't
neutral and
censor
positive.
people.
What if your movie
talking
bombed
about-
because of that?
about-
Because your movie has no
about-
personality now.
You
My movie
shouldn't.
will not have no.
Well,
personality.
here's the thing, though. You shouldn't have to censor people's talking about gay characters or how
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
in Star
It's
Wars
just weird.
either. But the way they're responding.
So, and Kathy
is-
Kennedy is
They're
the head of the
responding
snake.
with jokes,
Before-
and people
before-
are taking jokes
Well,
like.
hang on. Kathy Kennedy is the head of the snake, and she's the problem. Before Acolyte came out, what did she say? She did that interview where she said, "Oh yeah, everybody has female directors really have a hard problem with
They
this
do,
stuff."
and they do.
That was the question asked, and that's all the
Yeah.
interviewer said in the story.
She
That's
doesn't
literally.
have to spin it that way. She could just say, "We've produced
Dude,
great."
she's
Star Wars and we
answering
think
the
everybody's gonna
question,
love it."
which is what I like. I like when people answer the actual question and don't spin it.
Okay. Fair enough. Bruce has an excellent point here. Daisy Ridley is the most
Fair.
is the highest class person on the interview circuit for her projects, and she still gets unfairly treated. And I saw this for proof with Bruce sending me the Star Wars Theory of the project the other day. She said, I try to not listen to that and focus on the majority of people that are positive. And she still got trashed by Star Wars Theory. So you do have a point, Bruce. Even if you don't, and you're like a Daisy Ridley, they're still going to go after you. Honestly.
No, not only that,
Why-
it's
why
also
censor your show.
they also start getting conspiratorial. If there's nothing like this, people just start making shit up about how processes are done, what they're trying to do back there. Oh, did you know that? It's like, that's what James Gunn was trying to start off, and maybe he got bit in the butt trying to like, hey guys, stop doing these stupid rumors.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate that.
He's
Well,
Canadian.
he's going the easy way. It's very. He
so-
goes for a narrative. It's the easiest thing to do. It's lazy. It's sad. He wants to sell theory sabers. That's
I
it.
say, I agree with Cheeseman. You can't win either way. I say truck through it. I just say truck through it, and maybe this.
If I was a business, if I was a business owner, I would say to my employees, this is how I would handle it. And we can read through this article. I would say, I don't want to censor you. I'm glad there's representation in Disney Star Wars. I'm happy what we're doing, but please be careful, because unfairly or not, if the way you handle questions on the press circuit, it will impact your project and the future in everyone on the show. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in right now with social media. And I would say, please choose your words carefully, promote the projects in a positive way. Don't censor yourself about these characters and representation, but understand that unfortunately at this time, in this day and age, the press reviews and the press interviews are impacting the bottom line more than anything with these
And maybe
cultural
don't
issues.
maybe don't do a diss track on season 3 of an 8-season episode. On episode 3 of a season.
I liked her diss track, but it didn't help anything. Even RJ thought it was cringe. I thought it was a banging beat. I liked it, but
Well, I like the song.
I love Amanda Sternberg. I want her to see her back.
People
I
just
thought the
mad.
song was entertaining.
But honestly,
I just thought it was interesting to do a diss track in the middle of the season.
What's better though, Perp? To have people say what they want to say. And you should never be good. You should never want censorship, especially when you're talking about diversity and representation. But there has to be something that they could do on their end to limit the bleeding of these projects going down with this culture war shit.
Yeah, I think this is I actually like what they're doing here.
Okay.
I think this is the way to do it, is like sort of show them kind of what the process is and what exactly it is. Because don't forget, a lot of this stuff, like what you're hearing, is because people don't understand the process. Why are we hearing stuff about forced? This was forced in. When it's a creative process, everything is forced in. Like it was like, oh, they concentrated all their stuff on this, so they couldn't do that. Now they get to see. It's like, look how hard we worked on this freaking car chase, and you're telling us now because we had these two people kiss that's what we worked the most. Like there's a little bit more. I think if it does, which might be interesting too. Like if they're gonna hate on this, they have to get more sophisticated, because it's like it's just really dumb. Everyone's saying the same thing. They're all sheep. Force this. They're just an agenda. Activist writers. Like, I think this is sort of almost their way of fighting back against that by saying, look, this is how we do it. We're giving you a chance. What do you got? What do you got to say? You know, it's what I wanted to do coming here.
I would add that accusations are unfortunately what trends, and there are unfortunately the consumers nowadays are more snowflakes than there's ever been. Like the prevalence of social media now, everyone, you know, and like remember when there was first Yelp reviews for restaurants and stuff. Now everyone thinks they're a critic, and they are so negative. And honestly, just and I'm not calling my audience out again because you've been really helping me out with the thumbs up and on a replay, but getting people to be, there's something in human nature where positive engagement doesn't come natural as negative. It does. I don't know what it is. I will be honest with you. People don't believe me. I thumbs up almost every video that I see, unless I really hate the content. I don't hate anyone, but if I really dislike the content creator and their take, I won't like it or comment or anything.
Like perp streams.
I won't even dislike it. No, I like perp streams.
I know you don't watch my streams, man.
And some people say, well, I don't know if you did a good job yet. I'm not going to like it. I as soon as I know one of my friends is streaming, I thumbs it up the first thing I do when I get there.
But you don't watch.
I am in the minority.
You don't watch.
I would like to watch perp, but you know I'm a busy person. It's not anything personal. Even when you called me when you said like I'm a drive-by, like when I pop in during the day.
Yeah, you're a drive-by.
You know, you
do drive-bys to my stream,
and then I get a customer calling in. What am I going to do? I have to pause, and then I can't remember where I'm at.
That's true. I'm just joking, man.
No, but that's really what happens. When I'm out and about, I'll tune into a stream for a few minutes. I'll say hi, and then I'll get a call from my mother, my father, my sister, my wife, my job. It's just I wear too many hats. I'm very busy. I'm not saying no one else is busy either. It's just that's the honest truth. But there's something in human nature.
He knows you're not ignoring.
You do not. People.
My streams have been on fire lately, Max.
I've heard
fire streams.
I've heard.
Perp's going to be the next PewDiePie.
PewDiePie.
But okay, so we actually see what they say in this article. How Hollywood is battling fans who are just out for blood. They are. Don't feed the trolls. Is there better advice than that on the internet? I don't think there is. Ignore. If you can, ignore and don't feed the trolls.
They've been doing that though.
They haven't. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I think right before they promote stuff and you're right. Two things could be true at the same time. They are just responding to a person, and the press is the exact problem because some of the press wants to do these culture war battles too. They never make more money. They never get more.
But then you could also say we're part of the problem too because
we are
clicking these articles and stuff. So what can we do?
I said at the very beginning, I'm covering this now, but we're part of the problem. The best.
So what can we do
is go radio silence on them and don't feed them. And
no. You and me. So look, what do you mean feed them? So what are we doing now? We're feeding them.
To cover this topic, yes, because it's a major art. No, because it's a major trade. But I honestly, the best thing we could do after this is go radio silent on their asses. Don't follow Geeks and Gamers.
Talk about movies we love.
Yeah, I have a bunch of horror movies that I'm lined up to watch this. In perp, we got to talk to you about.
I got to hear this list.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I will, Bruce. I'm going to read your super chat.
Oh, that's terrible.
Did he just text you?
Yes. Oh, I'm fine with that. If you send me a super chat and I forget, I did forget. I honestly did forget because I was so wrapped up in the what was I saying about
the Purple Heart? He wants
no. I forget what else I said. Bruce sent this to me and I laughed, but I'm like, I gotta be real, Bruce. You told me something about like Elon Musk and he didn't actually say it was a parody account. Are we sure? So Kingdom of Nerds, Bruce, $5 says, how do you feel about Trump getting a Purple Heart? Did this actually happen? Did he actually award himself a Purple Heart? How can he do that? He's not the president right now. Doesn't the president have to award the Purple Heart? When did this happen?
Don't you have to be injured in battle to get a Purple Heart?
He got shot at.
Oh, that's true.
But that's not a war.
He survived an assassination attempt. Would they give him that for that? But yeah. I thought it would have. I'm honestly flabbergasted by this. If he actually did this, If he gave himself a Purple Heart, that's kind of lame.
I'm going
But
to
now-
Snoke right now.
But now that I'm thinking about, but still, even surviving, does that qualify for Purple Heart status? These are for the people that sacrifice their lives for the country and go into battle knowingly. You know, how do I feel about it? I think it might be lame. A vet gave it to him. Vet gave him his Purple Heart. Okay, I can't.
okay. Well,
I can't make fun of that. Then I can't.
That's his to give.
That's the vet's decision. I mean, I don't agree with it, but I respect the vet that earned that Purple Heart to
It's
do
not
that.
something to agree or disagree.
And
He gave it away. That's his choice.
Yeah, but how do you the Trump getting a Purple Heart? Okay, if the vet wanted to do that, I respect vets and how they sacrifice their life for the country. And if he wanted to do that, I have to respect that. Okay, that's my thought.
What does RJ think?
RJ, here you go.
RJ,
Someone said I should call him. I don't want to embarrass him.
Get RJ's opinion.
I don't want to embarrass him. Look at you.
So I don't think he necessarily deserves it. I do think there should have never been an attempt on his life, and I give him respect for how he handled that situation. You know,
no, rational. That'd be hilarious. Is RJ and Willie stream? Oh my god, that's hilarious.
That would be great.
That'd be hilarious. That's the most RJ thing ever.
Yeah.
While tweeting,
I will give him. I will say he had a lot of courage to still go campaigning and stuff. Some people that would impact the rest of their life once they have that type of thing happen to them. You know, they might be afraid to go anywhere. You know, so I will give him credit there.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Knox.
I had nothing. Why? Don't link it to me. Dude, don't link it to me. Okay, from social media boot camps to superfan focus groups.
Hell yeah.
8.5 minute, like this 8.5 minute video. I respect her for doing it. It did not help her get a season 2. I'm sorry. She had every right to do it. It doesn't. But honestly, it's not helping her succeed. Should you be silent should you just shut up and do your job to get success? Everyone says consistently, just shut up and act. And I don't like that either, but
I love
lots of people have said that. Yeah, I should remove. I mean, all that was there was snoring. I kind of wanted to leave him mute. I have him muted. And then at the end, I wanted to kind of ring his phone just to see if that does anything. I could do that. Is that mean?
Yes.
It is mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
Some would call it bullying behavior.
I don't want to.
What if we just keep him in the back and then he'll make his way in or something?
All right. I keep him. You're in the back. Stay in the back. All right.
Leave it in the private chat.
Okay.
We left you some water when you wake up, like he's he's a survivor.
I think I am also part of the problem. I think I've done.
I agree.
I've tried hard to ignore them now. Honestly, I feel happier since I've ignored. Let me change this. Let me turn this on me.
Mm-hmm.
I was one of the biggest culprits of covering them consistently, daily basis. Factors in my YouTube career have happened to me. I probably was part of the reason they happened. My family came together and said, if you want to go back, it's got to be about fun.
Wait, hang on. Your family had an intervention about YouTube with you?
No, they said you can't go back. You're losing. I'm not getting into all the specifics. You're losing sleep.
RJ's getting sleep.
You're not doing well at your job. You're not benefiting financially from this either. It's stupid. When I told them some of the stuff that happened, they're like, what is wrong with you? Why are you wasting your time with this nonsense? If you are going to go back, we're not going to support you going back to YouTube unless you do something, just talk about positive stuff. So that forced my hand. And then I started to enjoy it. And I less and less following it. And then also always have it. Brian is the voice in the back of my head. You're just doing what, you're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You're doing what you're only helping them. You're just it's never going to do anything. That's the other realization. no matter what am I actually doing? I'm not convincing anyone new.
Mhm.
And then you these new fans that they only want to see you bash them.
Yeah.
So then when you talk about something positive, they don't want to engage in that.
Yeah.
And it's not the viewer's fault either. That's just
No.
So
it is what it is. You only get what you give.
Yeah. So I've actually I'm really happy that the majority of the support on the channel now, and I'm not bashing people that do it because I've done it.
I am.
But the majority of the people, the majority of the income and funds that I get now are mainly focused on entertainment
Positive.
topics.
Yeah.
Or on the topic.
Not only that, I feel ever
And that
since
feels
James
good.
Gunn, ever since you let go of Snyder and embraced James Gunn, you've just been way more positive. Like ever since James Gunn took over,
I
it's
was
just been
never against
positivity.
James Gunn.
Ever since then, it's just been so positive. Don't you agree?
Yes, I just to be fair, I know people thought I was never against James Gunn. It just
took you a while to get around to him.
You know, my pet peeve is that I don't like when Hollywood doesn't finish their stories, and I can't stand when someone new comes on and just says blank slate, just like Matt Reeves. He was brought on to help Ben Affleck with his Batman project, and he pitched his own.
Yeah,
which most people in Hollywood are going to do that.
Yeah,
it's very rare that someone's going to give their shots. This is my shot to have a meeting with Warner Brothers, and I'm just going to talk about fixing Ben Affleck's mess. I'm going to pitch my blank canvas. Most people will do that, but it drives me nuts.
Lighthouse.
It drives me nuts. So he didn't do anything different than everyone else does.
No,
and that's what I said with James Gunn too. I really wish he would have tried to resolve some issues, but it's at a point now where there's so much time's passed that I'm kind of ready for it. You know. I really am.
Yeah.
I'm just ready for something fresh. And honestly, Zack Snyder has some good news in the press today too. Did you hear about this?
UFC?
Yes, and that's good. That's going to challenge him. Okay. That's going to be, and if you talk about slow motion in a UFC movie might be good. He's good at filming action sequences and talking about getting Adam Driver.
Yeah,
his cartoon on Netflix, that Viking cartoon that Zack Snyder produced, Viking cartoon on Netflix is excellent. Everybody,
check it out. The new one. Okay, I didn't check it out yet.
If anybody's
cool, I still didn't finish the extended cut of Rebel Moon. I saw the first cut. I didn't.
I couldn't even get through it.
I do want to, but yeah, I still think James Gunn's a bullshitter on the press. And he says he talks too much on Twitter, but he's got social media disease like lots of people do.
Sure, he does.
But he is super.
Kathleen Kennedy doesn't. Does Kathleen Kennedy do?
No, she just doesn't do anything.
Yes, Anthony.
Twilight just provide shows.
Barely provide shows. Barely.
No, did the best one.
No, James Gunn is showing her up for sure.
Where?
I listen. She is an amazing producer, not a great president of Lucasfilm, and she deserved her shot.
Who is a great president? Who was a great president of Lucasfilm?
Well, it was George for a while.
Yeah,
I love the prequels.
What was he doing?
To me, the prequels were great.
How was he doing with the movies?
Well, he had to retire, man.
Mm-hmm.
He had to get $4 billion.
Different standard.
No, and he also, besides being in charge of Lucasfilm, he created LucasArts, Skywalker Sound, the visual effects studio, Skywalker. What is this? The visual effects part. All these companies,
ILM,
Industrial Light and Magic, from the ground up.
Yeah, but what about the Star Wars movies? Which what do you care about? The actual movies coming out in the theater.
Part of it was after
Isn't there a huge gap between Return?
Yes, because he doesn't have the money Disney does. He has money, but
you don't think he could have gotten another movie done between Return and Phantom Menace? Are you nuts?
So look, he also publicly the reason he didn't do,
especially after Terminator 2, James Cameron. None of that. No.
So here, hang on. There's a rumor that Mark Hamill,
all the other projects he does.
What did he do instead? He did the Ewok show.
Yeah, but hang on, everybody. So listen, there's a
Indiana Jones Chronicles.
There's a rumor for people in the know like me that Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford not wanting anything to do with Star Wars after Return of the Jedi prevented him from doing anything for so long.
Yeah. Well, he also kept all these companies running, all these salaries.
He did Ewoks. He did all these animated stuff. Why didn't he do any?
He created Legends or expanded universe with all these novels. He expanded.
No movies. I mean, dude,
you're not giving him
look
credit
what you.
for Indiana Jones. He worked on Indiana Jones for years.
You're not
too.
giving Kathleen Kennedy any credit.
I did. I said she produced those.
She's done way more. And you're saying, well, she's completely failed. She's completely failed because she doesn't have Star Wars in the theaters. By your standards, George Lucas completely failed.
Indiana Jones released as for under Lucasfilm banner, Peltier?
Well, it wasn't India.
It was Willow.
Same with Dawn of Destiny. We're talking Star Wars. We're talking about Star Wars.
Perp's point is right.
President of Lucasfilm.
Yeah, you said it's an L that she hasn't been able to release a movie since Rise of Skywalker. George Lucas, after Return of the Jedi, didn't release shit until Phantom Menace. How much? 2 decades?
Yeah.
He does not have the
That's an
instant
L
cash revenue that Kathy does.
No,
even though he's
it's George Lucas. Oh my god, dude! It's George
he doesn't.
Lucas. He could have
gotten the movie done. Perp's right. Perp's right.
Okay. All right.
You have to be fair.
He got Howard the Duck. He got all the other Indiana Jones ones done.
Yeah, he had a lot of other projects. Right.
Like Kathleen.
He did. I do know. Going as a fan, thinking about back in the day, he did go back and forth if he was ever going to do a continuation. He was actually talking about doing a sequel series and then move to a prequel. He was also trying. I think I do know part of the reason because watching a lot of the Star Wars documentaries, he was waiting for technology to catch up to all the visions he wanted to do. And that's working on the special editions. Yeah, Kathy's working on cutting edge technology.
She's doing Star Wars documentary.
I really believe that.
That's why she hired a documentary filmmaker.
Wow. Then that next Kathy.
She's going to shoot it in the moon.
Blow your mind.
She's going to shoot it in the moon. That's what she's waiting for.
George said working on the special editions of the original trilogy, whether you like them or not, proved that he was ready to do the next movies that he wanted to do with all the ideas in his head. Unfortunately, for some people, when George has executes on all the ideas of his head,
hold on.
When George executes all the ideas in his head, they say it's bad. I love all the ideas in the
think of this. What if Ryan Johnson's the one backing out from doing Star Wars because of all the shit he got? No.
Well, he makes more money on it. For one thing, there's a money incentive to do Knives Out over Star Wars.
Yes, exactly. So what if he's the problem and you're giving Kathleen shit?
I don't think.
No, you don't think Ryan's the problem?
No.
You think he handled it well?
I just think it's there.
He handled it so well. He literally was fucking talking about trolls in his next movie, like internet trolls.
Yeah, he was essing on the trolls nonstop. He was battling.
Yeah, that's how much it affected him.
I think
maybe he didn't want to go back to it. That's not a possibility.
I think if
he loved it.
I think if he spent less time on the internet defending his decisions, which I said, if you're a comedian and the joke doesn't land for the majority on scene, you try to explain why the joke is funny, it doesn't work. So when he tries to explain his decisions, even if you agree with him, he spent way too much time, way too much history of him defending his ideas to ever come back, regardless of reception. If he would have just, I don't want to silence him either, but if he just kept it cool a little bit, he could have probably come back. He could have probably
done a sci-fi film.
Yeah,
He went back to a noir, like just as what he started with.
Ryan Johnson.
He went infantile mode.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I put equally Ryan Johnson, J.J. Abrams after seeing The Rise of Skywalker. They're both equally responsible. If J.J. Abrams somehow would have you can make a previous movie better by doing a great movie.
No, J.J. Abrams not coming up with a proper plan for all 3 movies, that's 100% his fault.
He did have a plan. Brian Johnson didn't follow it.
Yeah, and then J.J. didn't follow Ryan's.
Yeah.
This is the problem I have. Directors not working well with
that could be
They should have one of the besides whether them trashing George's idea, whether you think that's right or wrong, the biggest mistake was not having one director do the whole trilogy. And part of that was because they wanted to release them faster than George released his trilogies. That's part of the reason. So that's probably the number one reason why the sequel trilogy is not as good as it could have been. I know people are going to say it's it's whatever. It's that decision. It's because the natural parts of creatives not wanting to work with each other or wanting to change things.
As soon as J.J. Abrams said, "I'm not committing to all 3 movies," they should have said, "Okay, we'll find somebody else then."
Yeah, because it just didn't work.
Mhm.
The only time it worked well was
Man, they
was
got that
the
$1 billion
original
though,
trilogy.
and everyone loved it in the beginning.
Yeah, I loved it in the beginning too. I still like The Force Awakens, but it's hard to watch now because I know where it leads. Although there are parts now that I actually love of The Last Jedi. The only one that I really struggle completely with is The Rise of Skywalker now. Like,
Looper was great. Yeah, that was before Last Jedi, though.
So Ryan Johnson
I
is
meant
a really
after. He
good
hasn't touched
director.
sci-fi.
He's a really good cinematographer.
He's hit or miss.
A terrible writer.
I didn't see
What?
Brick.
No, he's
I didn't
not.
see Brick, but there was another. The
Brick was
Brothers
awesome.
Bloom was horrible. I
All right,
saw it
well-
even before The Last Jedi, and
I gotta
Looper was
get
just
going.
okay.
I
That's
gotta
all
get
right.
going.
Oh, before you go, Perp,
Yeah.
what weekend should we try for your watch party?
It's your call. I'll figure it out.
Okay,
It's your
towards
call.
the end of the
Just-
month, then, right?
Yeah, just let me know, and
Watch
whenever
party
you're
of
free.
what?
Do you want a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday would be better?
Whatever's
Friday
easier
night?
for you, Max. Whatever's easier for you.
Okay.
It's
We could
your
do
call.
Friday night into a mic drop. We could do a big long stream and have Voltaire coming at the end.
Perfect. If we're talking about the Evil Dead episode.
Mhm.
Oh, I'd love to join in on that.
Yeah, that's 30 minutes, so it's not or 22 minutes. It's not gonna be long.
We're gonna do a watch party, and I did watch Evil Dead 1. I have to watch Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, and then I don't know if I'm gonna have enough time to watch.
You're not gonna be able to.
I'll just watch your episode and I'll get back to it. But
Maybe do
me
a
and my-
recap.
Me and my wife are really enjoying From. We're on season 2. We're getting towards season 2.
Yeah.
It's a really good show. Have
Yeah.
you been watching it?
No. My girlfriend. I did watch it with my girlfriend, but she hasn't gone back to it. I think we're past season 2. From where did you leave off and from?
I just haven't watched this new season.
Oh,
Oh,
so
okay.
what? What's the new
there's a free trial for MGM Plus for 7 days. Just so you know,
I
we're
use
trying to
all my-
watch. We're trying to finish season 2 and watch season 3 in 7 days.
Get Shudder. Do the free trial for Shudder. Get some horror films.
Okay.
Oddities is on there, man. Oddities really good. It's a fun horror film. All right,
Ooh.
later, guys.
All right.
Good
See
night,
you, Perp.
Perp. Good night, Mrs. Perp.
Good night. Good
Not
night,
yet,
RJ.
Not yet. Not yet. But we wish them the best. I'm thinking I'll be on Xbox Rational. I'm gonna try. I have to get my packages ready for I'm sending one to Cyrus and to Rhea. Of when they visited me. I still have Rhea's package from when we were hanging out months ago. I never sent it yet. Because I told her I'm gonna wait till I stop making all these trips on the weekends so I could send the package. And then Cyrus asked me last week, "Could you please send my package?" I'm like, okay. So I got to pack them up, but I'll try to be on for a little bit on Xbox. What else do we want to talk about? We want to do good news of Twitter.
Yeah.
Let's see what's in the mailbag. How have you been doing, Voltaire? We've been missing the mic drop. It's should we try Friday nights as long as we're both available?
Yeah, you know what? It's the last couple of weeks have been bananas, but
Yeah.
you know,
For me too. Yes.
yeah, things have stabilized somewhat. So I was out of town and all that kind of stuff for business. So I'm back at it, and everybody, thank you for all your faxes and that I've so many faxes, Max. I have to keep loading reams of paper into my fax machine because of all the fans faxing me like, "Hey, what's going on? Where's the mic drop?" But don't worry, we'll get back on a regular schedule.
Yeah, and then I have to get the voicemails down here. I also have to get Discord on this computer. I worked on finally getting mix CD. I finally burned a mix CD with my CD burner because that's also something I'm sending with Cyrus and Ray's packages, a little mix CD. I'm gonna start making them when my friends visit. Like Bruce is coming, so I'm gonna get a Bruce mix.
Cool.
I really enjoy because my car still has a CD player, and I got most of my friends' boom boxes. I know you're a busy man, Voltaire, but if you're ever up for it, you can come visit me too. You have a nice king size bed. I'll sleep in the basement unless
I'll bring up a day to install and we're good to go.
Oh, really? My wife might like that.
Okay. So yeah, no, I haven't kept up with the Diddy case, Cal. I have no idea.
That's right.
It's bad, but I don't know. I just know very basic stuff. But if that's something you want to explore, that's something we can do.
Yes. the thing that's, as long as everyone was consensual about everything, you know, there's crossing state lines to do this, and there's accusations of underage, which is horrendous.
Yeah.
And then violence too. That's the issue. It's very bad to very sad to hear this. Unfortunately, I do think this is, honestly too, I know we might not want to delve deep into this topic because it's a shit show. But you know how all the conspiracy theorists like QAnon, you really can't deny that there are these factors of the entertainment industry huge with both movie, music, and I do believe, like, I was listening to Suge Knight interview on Chris Como, or I've also started I don't agree with him, but I also like the PB podcast or something. That guy,
Yeah.
he seems decent enough.
Uh-huh.
I think some of his co-hosts are out of their mind, but he seemed the main guy. I do think Suge Knight was correct. I think he was accurate in saying that he was repeating what he was done to him, and this is an industry thing. And I think this is going to be sadder than even everything. Anytime there's a victim, it's horrible. It's sad. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is going to be more, I think the fallout from this is going to be more intense than Epstein. And honestly, the names that they gave, like Suge Knight's, like Clive Davis and some other names in the music industry, they all deserve their day in court. They do. But I kind of believe the accusation that the music industry has been like, because if you think about how these, just like, for instance, these young artists, the way they're promoted, it's extremely sexualized. That doesn't mean that there's something going on, but it makes you raise more questions for sure. And then also the Michael Jackson factor, and then all the people that were with Puff Daddy, who was that other guy? R. Kelly.
Right.
And like Aaliyah, Beyonce, all these really amazing, talented young female pop stars were all hanging around these people that are all things are coming out now.
Yeah, I classified under I have no evidence if it's true.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was, but if somebody proved it was true to me, I wouldn't be surprised if it was
yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, and you consistently, like, even say like Foxy Brown was near Jay-Z when she was underage. Aaliyah, Beyonce was too. And you know, the thing about Beyonce is you want to give Beyonce the respect for being a strong, powerful woman and speaking her mind too. And that's accurate. But when she first got in the industry, she was in Destiny's Child, and she was hanging out at these things too. And then there's issues everywhere, Bruce. There's issues everywhere. And it's really saddens me to hear, because I like a lot of their music. I like some of Puff Daddy's music.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Anytime you give people power, especially men, they're going to take advantage of it. And one of the ways they take advantage of it is sexually. That's just the way it's been throughout centuries. That's why some of this stuff all rings true to me, you know? I don't know, but
there's been wrong rumors about what was done to Michael Jackson when he was a child too. Who knows? I hope it's not true. And then who knows about when he grew up with accusations against him. And I do know, unfortunately, there's no excuse for taking advantage of anyone else, but there's something really, I think what really people need to look at is when this stuff happens, the victims a lot of times become the predators with this type of behavior. It's very sad.
It's the gift that keeps on giving sometimes when you're
listen, Bruce, I don't want Jay-Z to be guilty of anything. I'm saying they're saying he's next, and I've seen pictures of him and Foxy Brown and Beyonce. I don't know. I hope it's not true. I hope it's just talk. The same people that were calling out, the exact same people that were calling out Puff Daddy are calling out Jay-Z. That's the only thing I know.
What about Mace? That was a big.
Bruce is a longtime Beyonce fan. I do know her parents were extremely religious and they were very much involved. So I hope that's true. I do. I don't want anyone to be guilty. I don't want any victims. I don't want any guilt. I don't want any of this. It's horrible because there's some very talented people mixed up in this. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Mace. I always thought it was weird how Mace left early on because he was a big part of that early Puff Daddy Bad Boy sound after Biggie passed. I actually watched the Biggie documentary after this happened, and I do plan on watching the Netflix when that drops. 50 Cent's been. I don't know why 50 Cent really does not like him. They
haven't done have they done a good documentary on the whole Tupac Biggie thing? Has there been a good one?
I have heard on X today that the family of Tupac Shakur is actually hiring an investigator to see if Puff Daddy had anything to do with it now, based on recent revelations. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know.
I think there was a movie with.
I'm not. Listen, Bruce. I hope I did not know that picture was fake. That's proof that that people doctor things. Be careful. I've seen okay, I did not know that.
Mm.
I heard about the Foxy Brown thing. But that Puff Daddy or Jay-Z? I can't remember who that was when she was underage, but I don't know. So I hope it's not true. And he's a very talented person. So I will be careful. We'll end it there. We'll move on to another topic. We'll end it there. I will be more careful, Bruce, of believing what I read or see because it's easily doctored. And I don't, wait till the facts come out is a safe way to go. Right, Voltaire?
Yeah. I don't think you were accusing anyone. Bruce, don't get offended.
Yeah,
I don't think you said that Diddy did or whatever, Jay-Z did anything.
No, I know that Cat Williams and this other lady that has a weird name that accused Puff Daddy said Jay-Z's worse and they're making, so I will please.
Yeah, Cat Williams is not the best source. You know what I mean?
Please. No, I wasn't sure if he was accurate either. And then they became true though, after months later. So I will push on the brakes and stop my speculating. And I want everyone to not be victims and not be, not to be predators, I hope none of this stuff is true, actually.
We here on the Mic Drop want predators to be prosecuted.
Yes, accountable. And, that's always the safe wait. There's a lot of accusations out there. Let's just wait. There's going to be a trial. Hopefully the victims get what they're asking for. Okay. We should cover the mailbag now.
Yeah.
Okay. I almost bought a Jay-Z cassette tape, actually, before all this was coming out. I still can. There's also a Tupac cassette tape because I never really got into the Tupac's greatest hits at one of my
All
places.
Eyes on Me. You don't even have that.
I don't have any other Tupac cassettes.
Oh well, that's a thing.
I've never really listened to Tupac. I didn't really. I always respected rap.
You still heard his songs like California and all.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to the mailbag here. Where is Jacob McKenzie? I got to give him his Member of the Month award.
Did we cover all the articles that we wanted to talk about? Yeah, Toxic Fandom. Oh, there was that one last one, but I think we covered it sort of. Forget it. It was about, is Disney Star Wars bad by The Hollywood Reporter? We covered that. Let's go to the mailbag. That's fine.
Yeah.
California Love. Yes, sorry, Cal. I apologize.
All right. So, Bianca's in the mailbag. Best Transformers film, whether you've seen the new one or not. The first one was great. I would say the first one and then Bumblebee. I really enjoyed Bumblebee. and then I'm hopefully this one be within my top 3. I don't even remember what happened in some of the sequels to the first Transformers Michael Bay movie. I just remember that the jokes started really becoming cringe with John Turturro, and Shia LaBeouf was like more extreme and faster talk. It seemed like he was on something at the time. It was not working. He seemed really hyper.
Yeah.
It was a disaster, those other films for me.
Which is
but I really love Transformers 1. I actually have it on VHS, which is rare. And I really enjoyed Bumblebee. Haley Steinfeld, John Cena, and Bumblebee was a lot of fun. It wasn't great. It was fun.
A very nice movie. Very watchable.
And this new one, I'm really looking forward to. I just haven't seen it yet. So, what would you say is your favorite Transformers movie?
Probably Bumblebee. Yeah. But which is the one that Blue Jay loves with those 2 characters?
That is the absolute bottom of the barrel. That scene is so horrible to me.
Which Transformers was that?
That's the second one, I
think.
Transformers 2? Yeah. That was awful.
Well, don't tell Blue Jay that. He loves it.
No, he that's fine. He loves it. I think it's very offensive, but I'm not. He is a black man, and I'm not, and I'm offended by it.
Well, there you go.
So, I'm a snowflake lefty, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Yeah. Transformers 86. I have to rewatch that. I don't think I've ever seen that whole movie, the 80s animated.
Oh, that cartoon movie? It's pretty rough.
Yeah, I've ever seen it. I've seen the show.
Sad. Optimus, people die in it. Like, it's a rough movie.
All right. Oh, and then I forgot. I never acknowledged your gifting memberships. I apologize. Let me bring that
don't worry about that. I just like to gift the people some memberships.
But we got some good ones too. Let me bring that up before I forget. Thank you, Voltaire. I really appreciate. So he's not only is he a host of the Mic Drop, he supports the show by giving memberships. Yes, that was really nice of you. We got some good ones this time too, Voltaire.
Is that right?
We got El Necron. Nice. Ghost Bumbles. Wasabi Farm. Brian, Master of None. Brian's back. And Ashley Jackson was gifted membership. That's the better half of DL. No, I'm just kidding. Right? DL's great. But Ashley and DL are awesome people. So that's great. Really cool. You got some good picks there with your trigger finger with the gifting the memberships. Cal has been a member for 17 months. Wow, I really appreciate
using your membership thing for that, Cal.
No, I that's quite an accomplishment for me. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding. That's an accomplishment for you. Thank you for the long time support, Cal. I love you. Hopefully one day we'll share Pabst and VHS tapes. And then we'll see what else we want to share.
I love when Cal comes on the show. I just wish he could get a good connection.
Yeah. We can have maybe we'll try another Cal episode. Who here wants to see a Cal episode of the Mic Drop?
Sure.
Oh, look, Ghost Bumbles is here. Thank you for the gift of membership, by the way.
Anytime.
All right. It is an accomplishment for Max.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the pleasure is all Max's.
His pleasure is all mine. Thank you. And then we'll do an RJ check before we go. I feel bad he fell asleep. He's so busy. He's a working man now. It's hard to manage everything.
He's a working man, like you said.
And then Bianca says, gosh dang, okay. I don't know if she meant to put that there, but thank you. She even thumbs up the members mailbag. Thank you, Bianca.
We'll take it.
Bianca is keeping it alive. All right, and then I think there was one comment left in the last mailbag. I put a no mailbag because there wasn't many in that last mailbag. There's a couple. No, it's just Cal. But we'll highlight Cal.
Cal. Well, that's the top comment.
No. Do you think when the names come out that Puff Daddy, the Diddy stuff, it will change Hollywood?
I do think so.
It does not. It's not just music; it's Hollywood too.
See, I think this is This is bigger than Weinstein.
I honestly do think that J-Lo and Ben Affleck broke up because of he doesn't want to. He can't deal with this right now.
Really?
I don't think she's got anything to hide. It's just she's wrapped up in all of it. You know, I actually there was someone else that got divorced recently. I think people are like going to their lawyers, like, yeah, if you're gonna just go your own way for now, let everything settle. You know, they actually Ben Affleck and J-Lo hung out after the divorce. But unfortunately, she's wrapped in this some way. You know, hopefully she didn't do anything predatory.
What can J-Lo do with that?
But the thing is, though, there's also accusations about everyone that's been at these parties. That's not fair either.
I mean, yeah,
They're like people in the pictures are like,
yeah, I know. They're saying Howard Stern was at a
there's
was at the
people
party.
are really going after Leonardo DiCaprio too.
Well, so what? He went to the party and he dates girls under 25.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he did anything illegal. So we all got to slow down. Oh, you were at a Diddy party. Roseanne, what was that? Not Roseanne. Rosie O'Donnell said she was invited and that they stopped her at the door. They didn't let her in the party.
Maybe she wasn't wearing white.
I heard Denzel went and he left and he was upset he left early or something. So who knows? Jade is here. Hello, Jade.
Welcome. Our lady down under.
So I hope J-Lo escapes unscathed as long as she didn't do anything. You know, I hope she didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I really feel bad for. I was never a Justin Bieber fan, but I feel like something went down. I hope nothing did, but going back and seeing some of this footage of when he was young, and his parents just said go hang out over there. You know,
gosh,
and Usher, but then some people have stories about Usher now too.
I don't know enough about it to comment, but yeah.
But he was also a very young artist. Bow Wow. They were all young artists there. The environment was different too. Like if you look at the music, like if you look at the MTV Music Awards, when Justin Bieber, Usher, when they were young, and even the female artists, when they're all young, when they get awards and stuff, like the older people in the industry were all kissing them and really touchy-feely too much. Like if you look back now, that was the environment. It's like, oh, come on, these are minors, you know.
You know, I'll bet you that like Lil Wayne and people like that, he's clean. I feel like Lil Wayne is not the type to get involved in that kind of nonsense.
Okay.
He seems like a stand-up guy.
Yeah. I hope no one's involved in it. Like just because they were there doesn't mean they did anything. I hope, well, they're investigating it for sure. So that's good. All right, let's bring up X for a little bit. We deserve a little good news after all that. Was it me that kept bringing it up, or did I keep getting asked questions about it?
We're just addressing it from the chat.
Yeah. All right.
And J-Lo with that ass, I don't think she forced anyone to do anything with that ass. They all did it willingly.
I don't know. I like J-Lo. I hope not.
No, Lil Wayne is clean. Thank you, Cal. I agree with you.
You finished season 2 of Rings of Power?
Yes, so did I, Jade.
I almost said Jades of Power.
Yeah, Jade, I finished season 2.
Did you like it?
So I liked it a lot better than season 1.
Okay.
Season 1 had a lot of problems for me. Season 2 is better. And you know, it's interesting. Did they course correct, or did the story just progress better is the question. And I think it's a combination of both, but I think they course corrected quite a bit. And people are complaining that they're bringing too many member berries and they're messing with the lore a little bit too much. I don't hate it personally. Jade, your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I'd love to hear your thoughts too. I still want to see it, but I've been watching From. Don't understand the hate for it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's the second season is far superior to the first.
All right, so audiences leaving Joker 2 last night only gave the film a half-star rating overall and post-track survey. Apparently, this is a survey that they take after a lot of movies. Only 24% said they would recommend the film to their friends. That is a devastating. If this is accurate, that is devastating to this box office. And there's no way there's going to be a Joker 3 or a Harley Quinn movie, even though Todd Phillips already said he doesn't want to do it. But let's be real. He would say the same thing if it was a success for negotiating funds.
Sure.
You negotiate in the press. If it would have been another $1 billion movie, Voltaire, if it would have been another $1 billion movie and the reception would have been through the roof, do you think they would have made a Harley Quinn movie or a third movie?
Of course they would.
Yeah. So this is always what you say for negotiating reasons. And then you say, well, maybe if there's then you come around, well, maybe if there's a story to tell. What does that mean? It means that you've initiated discussions with the studio. That's what that means when you say, well, as long as there's a good story to tell. But I don't understand. I won't understand till I see it. I am planning to see it still. I really was I was begging for the second movie though, Mary. I know a lot of people said they shouldn't have done it to begin with. Jade said I knew this movie was going to be a bad idea.
Grace has done a video on it, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe we.
Do you want me to put it?
But it's going to have spoilers in it, though. I did see.
Grace do that?
Huh?
Does Grace put spoilers in her videos?
She does 2 reviews, spoilers and unspoilers, but I don't know which one's getting the traction.
I mean,
she
put
liked
in
it.
the private chat if you want.
Joe liked it. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see how much we get through the good news of Twitter. Thank you, Bianca, for keeping the mailbag alive. I really appreciate the support. We like having you around here too.
Thank you. How do you feel about now that Joe's confirmed it that the Joker has that kind of scene in it?
I have to see the context. I'm like, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's interesting.
He's in jail. Did it happen in jail?
It did.
Because that's a reality.
My understanding.
I mean, that's a reality. That's something that we don't like to discuss, or if it's discussed in entertainment, it's usually a joke. But is it a joke, really? No.
Yeah, but would the Joker let that happen to him? Well, whatever.
Yeah, this version of the Joker is very mentally unstable. He's not like he's not like an Al Pacino and Scarface, the head of a
right.
Yeah, so
this ain't Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah, this is different. I have to see the context. I don't want to see that scene. Not everything in these Joker movies are things I want to see, but there's some kind could be difficult.
Yeah, I was turned off of this movie because I loved the first movie, by the way, but I was turned off the more I heard it was a musical, and apparently it is a true musical. I mean,
okay.
I wonder if that's how much is turning fans off. You know what I mean? How many fans want musicals? Really, are musicals really like a big box office draw nowadays?
I don't know. I like musicals. Oh, Cal. Oh, Cal put some more stuff in the mailbag. So we'll get back to the mailbag. Thank you, Cal. You had left 2 questions in there. Will remind me to go back to the mailbag. All right, so Until Dawn remake runs worse than the original, has a lot more bugs and crashes. It also costs $60 for some reason. I cannot recommend you buy this at release. It's worse than the original at this current state. I'm not against current gen video games, but I'm checked out of buying $60, $70 games. I don't do it anymore. I have more fun and bang for my buck getting all the stuff I missed. And if you really let go of FOMO, you could get the nostalgic bug, which I have. I have something different. But if you let go of the FOMO bug and have things experience things right when they release, you'll have a lot more fun if you can let that go. But then you might get the other bug that I have, where I can't stop buying nostalgic stuff for real prices. I go overboard for sure. But
but releasing a AAA game with a bunch of bugs seems, I mean, that's surprising.
Well, that's the way games are released right now. They fix them later. When at launch, it's always a mess. Like, I don't know why I would never buy a AAA game unless it's like the only AAA games I buy right at release are like fighting games, because that's the most time, because you could play the people online the most then, or Rational wants to play the fighting game. I have someone to play it with. But other than that, like there's a new game that came out. I want to play the new Astrobot game. RJ and Bruce both have it, and I'm just waiting to play it because I'm not going to pay $60.
Can we get RJ's thoughts on Astrobot? Is he available? RJ, your thoughts on Astrobot? Okay, thank you very much.
All right, put him back. But yeah, that's why I've checked out of current gen gaming. 11 people walked out during an opening screening of Terrifier 3 last night, with one audience member also being sick. 9 of those people walked out during the brutal opening scene.
Okay, that's good press for them.
He has a razor blade cutter there. I don't know if that's part of it. I don't know if this is an image from Terrifier 3. I've wanted to give this movie a shot, this series a shot, and they all say, all my friends that are into the horror say no. Even my wife that likes horror, she's like, I tried to watch it, I couldn't. It's that intense. I don't know. Should I give it a shot?
No, but there's a fantastic scene in the first movie before, and it isn't violent, so you don't have to worry about it, where it's just a well done scene, like where he's in a pizza parlor and he runs into the 2 girls for the first time, and it's just really well directed, well shot, and that kind of thing. But yeah, these movies are gore fests, is my understanding.
I do like the idea. The Art the Clown character looks interesting.
Yeah,
and creepy.
And I love Christmas movies. I love a Christmas film.
Yeah, when he's wearing the Santa Claus outfit.
Yeah.
Talati has been a member for 19 months. Thank you so much, Taladia. Where are you, Taladia? You leave me hydra? No, I'm just kidding. We need some more Taladia soon, right? Okay.
Always.
Yeah. 2 Black Panther games coming out. Yes. Wolverine, Blade, and Black Panther Cap. Yeah, those Marvel games look good. Yeah. I wish DC would get their gaming looking better.
That Wolverine game is very hyped, and I hope they do it justice.
So this rumor comes from the insider on the hot mic on YouTube on John Roca's channel. Sam Raimi is rumored to be returning to direct Doctor Strange 3.
Excellent.
I've been enjoying Sam Raimi on VHS. I love the Spider-Man trilogy. I started watching Evil Dead. I eventually have to do a review of the first Evil Dead. I think it's a charming horror film. I don't think it's that great. I think it's good. I think the special effects, are practical or pretty inconsistent. And I think this really the great thing in there is Bruce Campbell's just instantly, you can't take your eyes off him. He's interesting. He pulls you in. It's a fun movie, but the special effects, like the zombie type creatures, are really inconsistent with like their makeup and stuff for me.
But Army of Darkness, what a fun movie that is. That's just a wonderful. I don't even consider Army of Darkness a horror movie in any sense of the term. It's just a fun movie. Very much a Sam Raimi movie.
Sam Raimi, for rumored to be returning for Doctor Strange 3. I wanted him to do something. The added benefit here is if he is going to direct Doctor Strange 3, he's going to be there from the start instead of coming in at the last moment when another director fell out, like happened in Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness.
Which was still a good movie, by the way.
It was an amazing movie considering, and released timely considering that he was a pitch hitter for that movie. He came in at the last minute.
You noticed it, by the way.
Yeah, and I watched it the second time, and I think it's even better, and the Wanda stuff is amazing. Now, would I prefer him do something else in Marvel? Maybe. But this character, there's a lot of cool stuff he could do with this character, and visually he does great things. So I if that's true, that's a smart choice. And I would like Sam Raimi to do even more. And it's great that he's back into big IP projects again, because if it wasn't for coming in at the last moment for Doctor Strange 2, who knows if he would have made that leap back to big mass market IP, because he's been around.
Yeah, I think he was happy with he must have been happy with Doctor Strange 2. The movie came out great. I would hope
Feige must be. They must be, because it made good money. that's still released on time. That could have been a disaster the way the director dropped out at the last moment. All right. Bianca has to hit the hay.
Good
All
night.
right. RJ already did. And Anthony says he was always going to come back. Okay.
Makes sense.
All right. Let's see what else is here. Now, I don't know if this is actually an image for the production of season 2 of Ahsoka. They said they are going to make Ahsoka season 2, but are they starting production already? I don't think so.
Who's the young girl in there? Who is she?
That's young Ahsoka.
Oh,
she's also the actress that was in what's that new movie that just bombed? She was in Barbie, I think.
Was she?
And she was in that new movie that just bombed with Jamie Lee Curtis, Jack Black. I forgot. Borderlands. Yeah. So if they started on season 2 of Ahsoka, that would make me very happy because I loved Ahsoka. And I consistently defend Ahsoka. Hey, Joe.
Yo.
How's it going?
Oh, I just got out of Saturday night.
You saw that already?
Yeah, I just got out of it. I'm literally just getting in my car now.
Cool. Was it good?
Yeah, it's really good. Really well done.
And you really like Joker too, as well.
Yeah. Christine and I saw that one together last night. We both really enjoyed it. I was telling Perp earlier, it's one of those movies that keeps you thinking. Like we've been talking about it all day today. It's like,
okay,
it's a thinker of a movie. Like it's not it's not a movie that just washes over you and then you walk out. And you're done with it.
You don't think he phoned it in? Like Todd Phillips could have just done a part 2 of the first one. He tried something different.
Well, he did pretty much do a part 2. This is the natural sequel to the Joker. This is the natural sequel to a movie that wasn't supposed to have a sequel. Like because the plan was the Joker was supposed to be a one and done.
Yeah.
But if you ask yourself, well, what do you do in a part 2? This is the natural follow up. It's sort of like the Godfather part 2 of the Godfather because
Joe, you come in here, you take and you don't say hi to RJ. Please give a hello to RJ.
Hey,
I'm just kidding. Your response, RJ?
Your thoughts, RJ?
How do you feel about Joe being here? He liked the Joker too. RJ, please comment.
Did RJ fall asleep or something?
Yes, he did.
Is this like a bit?
Yes. Yes, he did. He's a busy working man now, so I really like Ahsoka. So this is an image. Hopefully, they are starting to work on it. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to Ahsoka season 2 more than the Mandalorian movie. Honestly, what about you? Viewing this on the clip out and then in the comments section, what are you looking forward to more? The Mandalorian movie, which is pretty much what we think is going forward at Lucasfilm right now, the next project in the theaters, or Ahsoka season 2. I am more looking forward to Ahsoka season 2, and I can't wait for Skeleton Crew. Joe and Voltaire, what do you think?
Personally, I'm looking forward to the movie more because I want to see some Luke Skywalker, but that's just me.
Okay.
Go ahead, Joe. Yeah.
No, I'm more excited for the Mandalorian movie. I mean, the thing I'm most excited for is the Rey movie, but the Mandalorian movie is going to be the next movie we get, and I like the TV show better than Ahsoka, quite frankly. So, yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Ahsoka and Rosario Dawson. So. All right, let me see what else I have here. So Glenn Powell and Edgar Wright's Running Man remake, which I want to rewatch the first one with Arnold, and I'm getting really excited about this project because I like Edgar Wright, I like Glenn Powell, and now Katie O'Brien has been cast alongside Glenn Powell. She was in that horror movie with, she was in Andor, right? I believe she was in Andor too.
Mm-hmm.
And she's in that movie with that Twilight girl. What's her name?
Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart. and she's been getting more of a fan base lately too, or I don't know what she identifies as, but whatever. But Katie O'Brien is big cast editor writes Running Man. So this is a highly anticipated project for me. Are you guys looking forward to the Running Man at all? It's also there's a book that predates the movie.
Yeah, the
that's
Stephen
more in
King
depth.
book.
Yeah.
So I
it's Stephen
love the
King?
first movie. Yeah, it's a Stephen King story.
I didn't know Running Man was a Stephen King story.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that makes
I
it even
love
more
the
interesting.
original Arnold movie. It's one of those movies I had on VHS that I watched over and over again. Max, I'm surprised you don't have it on VHS. I've seen it probably 40 times, no exaggeration. And yeah, I'll watch the remake.
Cool. Joe, do you have any anticipating this at all?
Well, I didn't even know till just now they were remaking The Running Man.
Well, it's a good thing we bring up good news with Twitter.
I'll be honest with you, I have no idea who Katie O'Brien is. I don't think I've ever heard that name before.
Well, she was in Andor. You didn't like Andor. And then she was also in a horror movie that people liked this year. And she's been popping up in a few. I've seen her consistent. I can't remember where else I saw her.
Which horror movie? I may have seen it.
With the Kristen Stewart, that one that released the last year or two.
I don't even remember Kristen Stewart being in a horror movie.
Yeah, I think they were involved romantically in the movie. I don't know. I just saw the images from the trailer. I don't know.
Yeah. So Joe, so the back to the Joker 2 real quick. So is it 100%? Is it a true musical, or is it just a film with some musical numbers in it?
Oh, it's a true musical. I think if I have one complaint about the movie, and I don't have many complaints about the movie because I did really enjoy it, but if I had one complaint, it's that they didn't commit.
Love Lies Bleeding.
They didn't commit enough to the musical. Like me, there are a few full-on musical numbers with like all the all the choreography and set pieces you want from a musical, but then there's a lot where it's just people kind of singing low under their breath. I keep calling it the La La Land musical numbers because my wife and I hated La La Land because La La Land had the worst musical numbers like in any movie musical.
I enjoyed La La Land, but I don't think it should have been like praised as much as with awards. I'm like, okay, it wasn't that great.
Yeah, but if you look at La La Land, the music in it, the musical numbers were very low and whispery and kind of under your breath. And the reason was because they didn't cast singers, they cast actors. And they're like, well, we need to write songs that disguise the fact that these people can't really sing. So they kind of gave them these little low whispery songs. And when you cast Lady Gaga, who can sing, and we know Joaquin Phoenix could sing because he did Walk the Line. He was Johnny Cash. They're kind of doing that in a few of these numbers, and it's like, dude, commit. Let's get a full-on. I mean, Star Trek did a better musical number than some of the musical numbers in this.
Really?
Yeah. The Star Trek musical episode was absolutely brilliant. It's one of the top 10 best Star Trek episodes ever made. But they went full on musical. And this, half the numbers are like that, and the other half are just kind of like Lady Gaga kind of whisper singing. And you're like, why are you giving her a number like that when you know she can belt out a tune?
Mm-hmm. Well, my wife doesn't want to see it at all. She's checked out super movies to begin with, but she has no interest in seeing this. She didn't really like the first one either, though. I love the first one. I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm holding out hope. Rhea is also seeing it tonight, so I'm interested to see how my friends are going to respond to this. Actually, this would be great for a spoiler review. I probably should contact DL, but I don't know when I'm going to see it, though. That's the only problem.
Christine told me this afternoon that she just recently watched the first one. She missed it in theaters because she thought it was going to be too dark. She's like, I don't know. It seems like it's maybe too dark, too violent. I don't know if I want to watch a movie like that. But she loves musicals, so she wanted to see the second one. So she finally watched the first one on Blu-ray. And she told me she liked the first one. But she told me this one enhanced the first one for her. The first one she thought was better after seeing this one because of where it takes the story. Knowing the things that are revealed in this film, she thought it just made the first film all the more powerful.
Okay, cool. Voltaire, I do also want to do a time check with you because I know you're busy, man. I don't know how long you want to go. How you want to do a little bit more Twitter? We got some mailbag, and then
Yeah, go for it. I'm good.
Okay, I don't want to keep you
through.
I will say this really dates us to think that now this really makes us feel this. Does this make you feel old, Voltaire? Eminem's daughter Haley announces that Eminem is Slim Granddaddy. Grandpa.
Yeah, I didn't need that to make me feel older, but yeah.
It does. It does. I think
Sure.
I think that's even the image you're getting from Eminem. I don't think he's look at the I mean the face he's looking, he might be doing that because he knows there's a picture, but it also kind of feels like I think he's shocked to his system too. He's like, oh man, really? Grandpa Shady. He just dropped a new album. Do people like the new album?
No.
Joe, I know you've been rocking that new Slim Shady album, the last Slim Shady.
I didn't know he was still doing music. I thought he stopped like 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Don't make me feel old. We growing up with him. Okay.
I thought after his movie came out, I thought that movie he did was like the last. You never
Yeah.
hear about him anymore.
Well, 8 Mile, that was really well regarded. There could have been more roles for him. I'm surprised he didn't continue in the movie industry after that. Honestly.
He's a big star.
Yeah. I thought that was going to be Dolly Parton supporting the victims of the hurricane. Here's a Godzilla versus Jesus action playset.
That's terrific.
There's tanks. There's the American flag. And my bet's on Godzilla. Sorry.
I take Jesus in that every time.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jesus is going to win.
All
Where does
right.
Godzilla go?
It's Godzilla.
Where's Godzilla go when he's done stomping around? Where's he go?
Yeah.
All right.
No, where's
Jesus
he
for
go?
the
I'm
win.
serious. Where's he go? Come on, Max. I'm taking you there. Where's he go? He stomps around in the city. Then where does he go?
He goes into the ocean.
Right. All Jesus has got to do is turn that into wine.
Walk on water.
Jesus, you don't think Godzilla is going to survive in a big body of wine, do you? No, he's going to.
That would be a problem.
Yeah, no.
He's going to get Godzilla
Jesus wins.
drunk.
Jesus wins, yeah.
And then he's going to shove a bunch of bread down his throat.
Dolly is a national treasure. I randomly came across some pictures of Dolly Parton back in the day when she was like in her 20s. Oh my God. She's always been beautiful, but
Yeah, she's beautiful.
oh my goodness. Amazing. And she's very talented. Yes. I'm dabble in the country a little bit, but I always respected Dolly. But she's giving $1 million to victims, which is really great. All right, so here is Danny DeVito with Big Bird in both pictures.
Oh.
No, it's kidding.
If you watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, they always joke that she's Big Bird. They call her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I gotta watch that show. I watched it with Joe, and I was laughing my butt off.
I love the show.
Amazing run. How many seasons is it now up to, Joe?
It's like 17 or I think 17 or 18.
Have they done a season since they went to Ireland or not yet?
Oh yeah, no, they did. They have done one season since then.
Okay, I'm behind.
But
I gotta watch
yeah,
that.
but it's been about. I don't think there. I think there's going to be a 2-year gap before the next season.
Oh, look at this dance sequence. I'm in.
No, I watched this and it didn't look good to me personally.
Yeah. Doesn't have the same pizzazz as the first one.
What's that?
His dancing there.
There's
I can't see.
You can't see it, but he's on a stage and Lady Gaga's playing piano. He's wearing a blue suit.
Oh, is Joker?
Yeah.
Yeah. So from the Spider-Man Noir series, Silvermane is seemingly set to appear. This is via Just Jared. I think he's a YouTuber and a social media influencer. This character I know nothing about this character. Kind of looks like a cyborg type character. I saw an image from Spider-Man Noir with Nicolas Cage, and I was a little bit underwhelmed. But if they do bring in this character and it's similar to this image here, I think that's kind of cool. This image looks awesome. That's not what I saw from the set photos from Spider-Man Noir.
It doesn't matter. It's on MGM Plus, so no one's going to see it.
Well, I might because I got a support from now. I'm a huge fan of that show. We'll see. But that looks cool. What do you think, Voltaire? That's a great image there.
Yeah.
If they can make this work in the actual series with Nicolas Cage and have him look similar to this instead of just like Nicolas Cage,
And that's going to be on Amazon Prime, correct?
I don't know.
No,
I
it's
think
going to be on MGM Plus.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, nobody's going to see it. That's right.
It should be on Prime. It should. But they're stupid.
I thought it was a Prime product, but yeah, nobody's going to see it. Why wouldn't they put it on Prime?
Because I don't know. They're so dumb with this MGM Plus. I don't get it. They own Prime. Just stick it on Prime.
So, My Time to Shine Hello says that they're all coming back from Deadpool and Wolverine. Gambit, X-23, Elektra, hopefully Blade, maybe not Johnny Storm.
Well, Blade should definitely come back. I mean, he was great. I mean, I always thought Wesley Snipes should be in this new Blade movie. But with all the problems they are having, they should just scrap it and make it a Wesley Snipes remake or something, or a continuation of Wesley Snipes as Blade.
Did anyone ever see... Hold on, this is epic. Did anyone ever see this? Kiss cam. Kiss the beer. Good job,
Max,
guy.
Max, I got to tell you that I was just in the theater where we saw Flash. The Regal King of Prussia.
I love that theater.
I don't go there very often. That's not my home theater. My home theater is the Warrington Theater. But Saturday night was only playing there. So I drove over there. And this is the second movie I've seen there in the span of 2 weeks. I saw Megalopolis there last week.
Megalopolis?
That theater is infested with mice. It's ridiculous. I had 3 mice run by me last week in Megalopolis. And I was in a different auditorium today. And as soon as I walked in,
at least they're not rats.
So do you know what I started doing? I started just like playing games to entertain myself. I'm sitting there, and it's a mostly empty theater. And there was
it's just Joe and the mice at the Regal or whatever.
There was one spot where the rug was kind of light, and I could see it real well. So I would just lean over and put one piece of popcorn on the rug and watch to see how long it would take a mouse to come get it.
And how long does it take?
About 15 minutes. Within 15 minutes, there was a mouse over there grabbing it and running. And
so don't wear flip-flops.
Yeah, I kept doing it. I'm like, I'm just hanging out with the mice now. Like, I want to see how long it takes the mice to get these popcorn kernels. It was
good. God, like, what is going on?
Right in front of my eyes. I just watched the mouse come get the popcorn and run.
So Joe, this was a late showing you were just at. How many people were in the theater with you?
About 5.
And the mice.
Yeah.
I guess all that sticky stuff on the floor keeps them sustained.
But that, I mean, like, you know, I've been, you know, I'm in the movies. I go to the movies all the time. I'm in the movies.
Well, that's not going to help them stay in business, Rational.
Well, I've never, you know, several times a week I go to the theater. I've until last week I have never seen a mouse in a movie theater. So I can only assume this theater has just become infested because, you know, the Warrington Theater I usually go to, never once. And in this theater, never before 2 weeks ago. So I don't know. They got to have the place fumigated or something. It's ridiculous.
Well, why don't they just bring a bunch of cats into the theater?
You can't just fumigate it because if you don't get every mouse that dies, it's going to smell worse.
I don't know. They got to do something.
They got to bring cats in. Cats will take care of it.
Our cat Momo would get them.
You know what? That's a start. That's
cat
a start.
theater.
Just have
a theater. Go to the shelter and pick up a bunch of kitties. Just drop
litter
the kitties
boxes.
in old school style.
You got to bring a litter box too.
Dude, it's wild, man.
Right, it would start smelling like cat piss.
Thank you for braving the front lines to support the movie.
Joe, you got to leave a Yelp review talking about the mice.
Well, I did put it on the Regal subreddit.
Oh,
you know, there's a Regal Unlimited subreddit where people just talk about their Regal Unlimited accounts, and I'm just like, does anyone go to the King of Prussia Regal Theater? There's like a mouse infestation over there. I have to check to see if anyone's responded.
Joe, we got to get that post on this channel. I got to see that. You got to send a link to that post.
All right, I can do that.
I want to see the reactions.
All right. Well, this is great news for DC Studios and Lanterns on HBO. This is a really highly anticipated project. I've seen Aaron Pierre in the Netflix movie. I forget what it was called, but he was amazing. So he's my top pick. And they're saying Stephen James screen tested for Jon Stewart yesterday into today via the Hollywood Reporter. So they're already screen testing for Jon Stewart for Green Lantern. This is an awesome time to be a DC fan because you cannot, no matter what side of the fandom you are on, you cannot deny that they've underserved Green Lantern series.
They really have.
So,
Underutilized talent.
especially Jon Stewart part of it.
Mm.
The last time I thought, I mean, unless I missed something, Joe, have they treated Jon Stewart great in anything except the animated series, Justice League and Justice League Unlimited? Maybe some of the movies, anime movies.
Green Lantern really hasn't had much of a screen presence. Like,
Yeah.
the one movie with Ryan Reynolds, but
so this is a game. This is a
done anything.
Yeah, this is a game changer for DC Studios because those problems predate even the Zack Snyder debate when Ryan Reynolds was Green Lantern, even when they started then. That was one and done. So here's Aaron Pierre and here's Stephen James. They both look great for Jon Stewart. I'm more Team Pierre than Team James, but I would be happy with either. And I'm just happy that we're getting a live action Jon Stewart, honestly. And to be fair, thoughts go out to Wayne T. Carr, but I honestly would want to see someone fresh at this point. To be fair to Wayne T. Carr as well, you know.
The Wayne T.
I know.
thing never made sense.
I know. Joe's gonna
sense.
say it was just a scene in the driveway. I know. It wasn't.
Well,
it's
no,
not
but
like
I mean, this is like there were people like, especially the Snyder Bros. But there were Snyder Bros. It's like it's got to be Wayne T. Carr, and it's like
it doesn't have to be. No.
This guy. Have you gone to his IMDb page? This guy has no credits, so it's like everybody's going to bat for a guy that none of
my more. I was more on. I know. Please, let's not make this another debate about Ray Fisher, but I love him as Cyborg, though. Regardless of what you think about him personally. Him as Cyborg was great, and I wanted to see him as Cyborg again.
He's a problem.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying I don't want to get into that whole debate about his social media, what he did or what he didn't do, and people don't like what he did. I don't. I'm talking about just him as Cyborg. I loved it in both versions.
I would say he is easily the third best live action Cyborg we've ever had.
I like him better. I like him better than the one in what's that show with Brendan Fraser?
Doom Patrol.
I like him better than that.
I'll go with the guys.
Doom Patrol was great.
Yeah, I'll go with the guys who played Cyborg on Doom Patrol in Smallville first.
No, I would put. I mean that it's subjective, but I would put Ray over those two. But this is great. We're gonna be winning no matter what here, especially since, along with Aaron Pierre potentially or Stephen James being screen testing for Green Lantern, we are also getting either the writer or director of the episodes of Black Mirror to do some of the first episodes of the Green Lantern series, which is also highly regarded from Netflix. Although I haven't seen Black Mirror yet, and I want to.
Black Mirror is terrific. There's a few. It's a Twilight.
So this is high caliber stuff. This is high caliber stuff that we might be getting with Lanterns. This isn't CW, and I'm no bashing CW shows, but this should be another caliber, higher level.
I really hope they manage to capture the fun of Green Lantern. I think the one thing. Now, I do have a lot of faith in James Gunn.
Yeah,
Anthony, I mean, I wish you wouldn't go there with focusing on how, their skin color too much, but they both seem great to me.
I got a lot of faith in James Gunn, but the one thing that worries me is they keep saying it's like True Detective with Green Lanterns, and it's like, don't make this like don't make this too gritty or too much. You gotta have fun with it, because Green Lantern has always been a fun character, like, making giant fists out of his ring, and the things they make out of the ring. It's kind of a goofy concept, and you gotta have a little fun with it. And all the alien Green Lanterns, like we've had Kilowog and Salak and Chip. We got a chipmunk Green Lantern. It's like I just hope they don't take it too seriously. I hope they keep a level of fun to it.
Yeah. Well, I do want to say I'm having fun with you guys, but I don't want to keep you all too late. So we'll probably wrap this up in 10 minutes. I want to see if there's anything else in my Twitter feed I know there's a few more questions. I think we'll hold off on the Grace because it's getting later.
Yeah.
Voltaire, but I am tempted to watch it, but because it's getting late. Let me see what else I hear. What would you be on board for Channing Tatum solo Gambit movie after seeing Deadpool Wolverine? I absolutely would after seeing it twice. Voltaire, Joe, what do you think?
I wouldn't hate it.
Or would you rather him just be in something else, not a solo movie?
It would depend. It would really depend. Like, I mean, the goofy Cajun accent he was doing was very funny, but I think that as a supporting character in a comedic film that works. I don't know I could take that for a whole movie.
Okay,
that accent was just almost too much for me.
I didn't like it at first. Then the second time, I loved it.
He does look like Gambit. You can't take that away from him. He's 100% Gambit.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll at least see him again.
So, how far is this theater from your house?
About a half hour.
Oh, wow.
Todd Phillips says he's done with DC Universe after Joker 2. I feel my time in the DC Universe was these two films, and then the audience responds, "Get out, we're booting you out." I've seen people giving him the middle finger on X and everything after this movie, which is ridiculous, but fans of the first movie even are giving, like, they're absolutely crapping on this movie. Look, see, Anthony, good.
It's wild.
Why are people like this?
I can't wrap my head around what people didn't like about it.
I don't understand why. Like, look at Anthony Voltaire. Look at this. Good.
But it's a lot of people,
Hangover
Joe. This is one where the critics and the fans have agreed so far. So I'm very curious what.
It's really weird though, because it's like it's so in tone with the first movie that it's like I don't know how you could like one.
No, people are trashing this. Like, if it looks like it's like worse than when movies are review bombed. Like the audience and the critics can unanimously are trashing this.
You know what's stupid? And I got into this in my review. I talked about this in my review, and this is before I noticed it. I didn't even notice. But like earlier today, I saw that the Critical Drinker put up a post, and I saw it on Twitter, and he's like, "This was a sequel that nobody wanted," and I'm like, 110% wrong, because Todd Phillips wasn't going to do a sequel to Joker. Joker was supposed to be a standalone. This movie literally only exists due to fan demand. Like, this is a case of, we say like who asked for it. I always say that drives me crazy. The phrase "who asked for it." This is a movie that literally everyone asked for.
I asked for it.
In fact, you could flip it because the original Joker film was a film nobody asked for, and people were saying, Joker without Batman, nobody wants this. This is going to bomb. This is going to be terrible. And the one that nobody asked for was the one they liked. And then everyone's like, we want a sequel. And you get a sequel, and they don't like it. So it's like, this just goes to prove my point that, who asked for it should never be the basis. So...
Well, I disagree with you a little slightly. I do think you should try to give audiences what they want if they're paying customers and they're going to support it.
Well, yeah, but the point is, audiences don't know what they want.
But look how fickle audiences are, though. The environment look how a few years change, and then everyone wants to trash Joker now.
Yeah, but you know what though? Seriously, this is $1 billion film. The Joker is a major IP. It's silly to say that nobody wanted a Joker 2. That doesn't even make sense.
One of the most profitable DC movies ever.
Yeah, I love the movie. I wanted to see a sequel. I don't know that I want to see
watched that one of the best DC trailers ever, too. That first trailer that dropped, I watched it like 50 times.
Yeah.
Well, I'll wait. I'm still planning on seeing it, but my expectations are lower. So welcome the return of Godzilla versus Biollante, and Godzilla versus King Ghidorah to HBO Max via Criterion. Sorry. So you can watch Godzilla on HBO Max right now.
It's disappointing. The Return of Godzilla you can only watch in the original Japanese version, The Return of Godzilla. The version that we were introduced to here in America, Godzilla 1985, they won't release that anymore. They don't want that version being seen.
Why?
Interesting.
It's I don't
Something
know.
that didn't age PC wise well. Or something?
No, Toho just didn't like it. Toho.
Oh well, Toho's in charge. Yeah.
Right, Toho's in charge. They don't want that version being seen, but that's the version that Gen X grew up with. That's the
I'll have to
version we
get on
saw in
VHS.
theaters. That's the version we saw on VHS. Yeah.
Okay. Michael Keaton behind the camera on the set of Batman 1989. Just a nice behind the scene photo. I enjoy some of these on X. Something positive. That's great.
You want some trivia? Look at that. Look at that image. You notice the bat has the bat tail in the '89 film that he's got on his chest there. Doesn't look quite the same as the logo.
Yeah.
It's got the extra little tail fins.
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
The reason is because while they were shooting the movie, they hadn't finalized what the bat was going to look like yet, because there was a legal dispute where somebody was saying that the way it was drawn in the final poster, there was a question of whether Warner Brothers could use that because somebody else was claiming ownership of that design. And ultimately, after the movie was shot, they cleared that they had the rights to it. So they used that version in all the marketing. But because during the filming, they didn't know if they had the rights to that version, he had a different plate on his chest.
Oh, wow. That is interesting.
And by Batman Returns, he's wearing the traditional one.
Okay. I didn't even notice. So there's some scenes in the movie where he has this version? I didn't even know.
The whole movie. That's what he wears throughout the entire '89 movie. And it's not until Batman Returns that he gets the one that, the more traditional looking one.
Wow. That is cool. James Gunn confirms Frank Grillo will appear as Rick Flag Sr. in Superman. Gunn also described Rick Flag Sr. as one of the primary characters for Peacemaker Season 2. Cool. All right. And I think that's we'll end on this. So Henry Cavill will reportedly return as the Cavalrine in a future MCU project. Henry Cavill is not done with MCU.
Good. Why not?
The Cavalrine was awesome. I gotta admit. What do you think about that, Joe? This is the last topic on Good News of Twitter. Cavalrine is back. Apparently from rumors and scoopers.
I mean, I don't know. He didn't really do anything in Wolverine. So
he did the loading his guns with the.
Yeah, but he didn't have any dialogue or anything. I mean, Deadpool.
I'll tell you what.
Deadpool and Wolverine,
he looks better than Hugh Jackman with the cigar in his mouth. I'm sorry. Hugh Jackman looks cool, but doesn't look that cool.
Deadpool and Wolverine gave me nothing to tell me that he would be a good Wolverine or a bad Wolverine. It's just like, oh, here's Henry Cavill dressed up like Wolverine, and it's like, all right, well,
I think that was the intent.
but it's like but now I heard people going, oh, he should be Wolverine all the time. It's like, well, we didn't see him really play the part.
Well, I want to get Voltaire's reaction here, and then we're gonna go to the mailbag and wrap it up. But this scene here, when you see Cavalrine with the cigar and the smoke out of the side of his mouth, it oozes the comics Logan and Wolverine more so even than Hugh Jackman. And I love Hugh Jackman, but this looks legit to me. Just the way the cigar is like that and the attitude of this Cavalrine.
This might be the solution for them because replacing Hugh Jackman is going to be almost impossible. And if he's halfway, but Joe's right, he didn't show us anything other than he looked like Wolverine and people were okay with him as Wolverine. But this might be the solution they need as far as.
So you think Cavalrine should actually just replace Hugh Jackman?
I think so. It'd be very hard to find an unknown actor to put in there.
I don't think they're going to replace Hugh Jackman. I think Hugh Jackman's going to be back full time.
Yeah, for how long though, right?
I don't know, but I mean, when your movie makes $1 billion,
Anthony Cheeseman says, but why would you go with Henry Cavill for Wolverine? He's 40. What do you think Wolverine is? Wolverine's like hundreds of years old.
You're going to get like 2 to 3 movies out of him at least.
And then thinking about this man, his physique and his exercise ability or physique, his routine, he's going to stay fit for at least 20 more years. So I actually kind of convinced now. You kind of convinced me, Voltaire, that instead of just going with an unknown, why not go with Calvary for real? I mean, he's not Superman anymore, so
Well,
why not?
I believe, and we don't know for sure. We weren't there, but I believe that he must be really hard to deal with, because there's a reason. There's a reason that they didn't have him under contract for a long time. I think, I don't know if it was his management. I know he had the Rock's management. Did he fire them? Did he finally get rid of the Rock as his manager, or the Rock's rights as his manager? But I think there must have been an issue with why they could never come to an agreement with him, because he clearly wanted to come back and they clearly wanted him to come back, but they could never get a deal with him. So I'm like, his agents must have been playing some kind of hardball or asking for something.
Well, I don't like going into rumors about how people are behind the scenes. He hasn't done anything illegal. He asked for his fair share, which I think he deserves. Some people don't think he deserves as much as he asked for. And he also asked for more than, for example, more than just what you get as an actor. He wants producer. He wants a say in how the project goes. And
He wants creative input.
He wants creative input. And to be fair, that's what Tom Cruise demands. That's what a lot of successful actors demand.
Yeah, but he hasn't been successful. He hasn't earned it.
they don't release stinker products. And some of the projects that Henry Cavill has been associated with that did not land well were not his fault. Some of them were, some of them weren't. I do think he's worth the money. I
never blamed him for Man of Steel or Justice League. I always said he got bad scripts. It wasn't his fault. But the point is, those movies were considered to be failures. So whatever money he was asking for, he hadn't proven himself.
Well, if he wants to be involved with the project, he actually cares about a lot of these IPs. He's a nerd too. He cares about something. He cares about Warhammer. He cares about The Witcher. He's part of the reason that show even started. He cares about Superman. And why wouldn't he also say, I want this to happen and try to right the ship? He wanted a Superman movie to go forward for a long time. And he was okay. To be fair, Joe, he was on board with what you wanted. He wanted to be Superman without Zack Snyder.
I know, but that's my point.
He never got a chance. Yeah.
They couldn't make it happen. They tried to get him to do the Shazam cameos, and they couldn't. They just could not strike a deal with him. And that tells me the fact that Warner Brothers wanted him and he wanted to do it and nobody could get a deal signed. That tells me his agents were asking for something that Warner Brothers was not willing to give.
Here's what I want to ask you with respect, Joe. Knowing the history of Warner Brothers, besides Zack Snyder, I'm talking about Richard Donner, all the things that Warner Brothers has taken over.
Warner Brothers had no connection to Richard Donner.
Well, when Superman was released.
Yeah, that was made under the Salkinds. Warner Brothers was only a distributor. They didn't have any power
whatever.
Over
they were involved. There's a history of Warner Brothers projects, stuff happening. It's just all throughout there. Knowing that history and then assuming the rumors about Cavill, I just think there's a greater proof of Warner Brothers effery than Henry Cavill, and I do think Henry Cavill's earned it. That's my opinion.
Well,
I just seen there's so much stuff that over the years that I believe they've dropped the ball on. They've interfered. They made horrible decisions. They even canceled projects. All that they look how we got Batman Forever and Batman and Robin after Batman and Batman Returns. They sided with McDonald's over Tim Burton because they wanted to sell more toys. Is what was, they canceled Young Justice because the action figures weren't selling well, even though the show was well regarded.
Well, that makes sense though. I mean, it's a business. It's like,
no, you're right. It is a business, but I mean, that's just my point, Joe. I think as far as I can tell, Henry Cavill's a stand-up guy.
Yeah, but I've said all along, I've been saying for years, if he really wanted to keep playing Superman, they could have struck a deal. They could have struck a deal. There was something, and maybe it's not Cavill. Maybe it was The Rock's wife, because he had The Rock's wife as his agent. Maybe she was the one going to the table and asking for the moon and the stars. So I don't know. I think he fired her though, which, from what I understand, I think he fired her.
Do you have a comment on this, Voltaire, before we end? That's my point of view, knowing the history of Warner Bros. I can't get into all the specifics, but they've dropped the ball a lot, to me, in my opinion. I think Cavill deserves the benefit of the doubt over Warner Brothers.
But I'm a Cavill fan, but I've had the same suspicions as Joe.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah, I feel like the way he felt like he was blindsided by James Gunn not bringing him back as Superman. Remember, he posted on Instagram. It almost was like he was surprised. That implies to me that he's surprised they didn't take his last settlement demand or whatever contract demand he had. So I have a feeling he was asking for too much.
Okay, fair enough. Let's get to these quick mailbag questions. I appreciate both Cal, Sean, Bianca, and Isaac earlier for leaving comments in the mailbag. So we'll get to Voltaire. I remember Cal here. Voltaire, have you ever had your house washed before, pressure washed?
No. That's interesting.
I need to borrow my mother's pressure washer for my deck out there because it's getting a little green, the white vinyl thing. So I need to use a pressure washer. Pressure washers are great. That's actually how we clean the pontoon boat when we put it away for the winter. We do a pressure wash, get all the algae and stuff off the pontoons. Works really good. So I highly recommend that, but not as a replacement for a bidet. You will have to go to the hospital.
That would be dangerous.
Because I got some crud on my hand from cleaning the pontoon, and I was trying to slightly do the pressure washer so it only came out a little bit, and that hurt. I was away, and I was just like, I just need some water. So I tried to just like subtly just inch on the trigger. It still was too intense. Pressure washer will rip your behind instead of cleaning it like a bidet. Yes, dumb move. It was a dumb move. Bring up what comments? Oh, Rational wants me to tell you this, Joe, because he just wants to debate you. Team wanted a second Man of Steel. Emmerich and Hamada only wanted cameos due to the poor reception of Justice League 2017.
Oh yeah, well that was smart. That was the way to go. I've said that a million times. Hamada was doing everything right. Justice League and the Justice League characters.
God damn you, Rational.
No, Justice League and the Justice League characters were a toxic property after Justice League, and the right move was to put those characters on the shelf until the stink of that movie had died down, and they were doing everything right. They were focusing on the characters that worked, like Wonder Woman, and some new characters like Shazam, and the plan was always that we were going to bring those characters back down the line once they had a few wins under their belt. And we were getting to that point. If you look at the tomato meter, Aquaman, Shazam, Birds of Prey were all certified fresh films. So they were starting to get those wins under their belt. And we would have started seeing these characters come back around the time of The Flash. But unfortunately, COVID put the final nail in the coffin.
Thank you, Joe. Rational, do you really want me to get on the Xbox? Because if you keep triggering Joe into going to the history of Warner, so we're never going to get there. Okay. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. Let me see here. So Sean Hickman, is Max going to Elon and Trump tomorrow in Butler? No, are they both going to be there?
Wow.
I got to admit, Voltaire, I love you, man. And I'm really happy that you're excited about the Cybertruck, but I've seen it in person now.
Oh
I'm not so sold on it.
I see them everywhere I go. They're everywhere. It's like,
I don't know,
insane.
Voltaire. I respect your decision regardless.
No. I'm waffling on the Cybertruck, everybody.
Yeah.
What, you
I
thinking of
did
buying
see
one?
I did see a Facebook Marketplace $100 remote control Cybertruck, and I was like, that's pretty cool. But I don't know. They look really awkward in real life to me. I think other Teslas look good.
I just don't know if I want that big a car now that I've seen it in person and the length and all that. So I'm leaning towards an Audi GT e-tron, which is the car that Iron Man drove in Endgame. When he
Oh,
showed
that's
up.
what I would vote for.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards that right now.
I am a
Okay.
big proponent of the Nissan Rogue. I have a Nissan Rogue. I love it. I test drove. I got one from Enterprise Rent-A-Car because my old car, I hit a deer and it was in the body shop, and Enterprise is like, here, we're giving you a Nissan Rogue. And I drove it and I'm like, this thing's great. This is going to be my next car. So 2 years later, my car died for good. And I just walked into the Nissan dealership. I'm like, I want to buy a Rogue.
Mm.
And then Brie Larson's also the spokesperson for Nissan. So that's
drop the
another
taco.
feather
I would
feather
totally
in the
drop
cap.
the taco and get in that car. Totally. That commercial worked for me.
Let's drop the taco.
But Voltaire, have you heard of this amazing car manufacturer called Kia? That's what I drive.
There's
the Audi sounds awesome.
Kias are great cars.
I couldn't, if you gave me your old car, I couldn't even afford to drive it, maintain it, and gas it. those cars are expensive. Cybertrucks are having recalls?
Yeah, every new car has some recalls, but I'm not aware of any major one. That's not my issue with it. Tesla tech, and look, I own a Tesla, and I've owned one since 2019. Do you know how many times I've had to take it in for service? Once. Do you know how much I've paid for any kind of servicing, oil changes, anything? I think $200. All right. The car is tip top. There's nothing wrong with it. I love it. It's American made. I just think the Cybertruck is too big. I'm just starting to think it's too big. I don't need it. If I lived in a climate like you guys do in Pennsylvania, maybe, but I don't know. It's just so monstrous.
Okay.
Like I test drove the Hummer EV2 a couple of weeks ago, and I loved it, but it's just too big. I just don't know if I want something that big.
I would say, figure drawing, that Cavill has been in 2 fantastic movies. Like he has 2 fantastic movies under his belt, and in both of them he was a supporting player. I think he's a good actor. I just don't think he's a leading man, because the best things he's ever done are Mission Impossible. What was it, 7? I don't know. Maybe it was 6. I don't know. The Mission Impossible movie he did, but again, he was a supporting player, and Argyle, and he was a supporting player.
Okay. Well, all you people in the comments are going to keep Joe going we're trying to end here, everyone. Thank you. The last question of the night. Cal, who is your favorite rap artist, Max? I got to be real. I'm really boring. And people are going to be like, that's not fair.
Young MC.
Like you just like the white boy rap group Beastie Boys. I love the Beastie Boys. And I didn't expand much outside of that, honestly. I always respected rappers. I just never got into it much. But just like I've got into country music lately, I'm very open to getting into some rap music now. I don't see going like deep into it. I prefer alternative, rock, industrial, indie music. That's my jam. But I would be very open to, like, there's some rap cassettes. Tupac was there. Ice Cube was there. I was like, I'm thinking about that. Maybe.
I'll go with MC Hammer.
Maybe. That'd be fun, I guess, for a little bit.
He did that Addams Family song.
in that Zack Snyder cartoon, that Norse God cartoon on Netflix with the Zack Snyder one.
Hey, Sticks Boy.
They do a rock version of Can't Touch This by MC Hammer as the opening to one of the episodes, and it's hilarious.
Well, I think we're going to call it a night. I was going to try to, I'm not going to make us wait till 3 hours. I appreciate you all supporting the mic drop returning. We had good viewership today. We went a little bit longer than normal, but I haven't been streaming as much. So give props to Voltaire. Thumbs up the video. Subscribe if you haven't. We have more to come. I've seen that Voltaire's been making the rounds too on some live streams. That's awesome, man. Good job. Joe has been seeing lots of movies and helped me out on MME Live last night. I appreciate it. So, yes, and I appreciate seeing you, Mary, everyone in the chat. Thank you for supporting and engaging.
Everybody.
I'm going to try to bring back the Crazy Joe's Concession Stand Monday night live stream. I haven't done a Monday night live stream since before Dragon Con, and that was Memorial Day weekend or Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, you had a good thing going there. That's cool.
You can't go up against Monday Night Football, Joe. Come on.
Well, I think I'm going to do the Monday night live stream this coming Monday, if I can. But Christine's also out of town, so I'm single dad that night as well. So I may not be able to, but definitely by next week we'll have it come back.
All right. And if you would do the honors, Voltaire, we'll get a fresh one instead of recording.
Good night and good luck, everyone.
And